What is going on, everybody? It is episode 800 of Pop Culture Crisis. I want to thank you guys all so much for joining us today. My name is Brett. I am here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We have a huge anniversary celebration today, and we already have three $20 super chats to get through before we even introduce our guests. Seeker of None said, congratulations on 800. Thank you so much. Shane H. Wilder said, happy episode 800. Brett and Mary, let's go. It has been an honor to create another short for another 100 episodes. So much happened this 100.
I think we will watch it at the end of the show today.
Yes. On the socials and subreddit, congratulations, live Moss, and God bless. Yes, we are living Moss today.
Well, Mary can't live Moss technically right now.
And we have another from Ulvin McGoth. Put a beanie boy on. Give us your... What does that say?
Promised circus monkey. It says.
He is our circus monkey.
And one more from another one down there.
Another one from F something GF. Congrats guys on this. Congrats guys, this show is goated. I don't even like pop culture, but my wife does, so I like being informed and up to date via conservatives instead of PDF files. Thanks.
That's our job here, is to make sure that you're not getting your information on Hollywood from a bunch of criminals.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone who's here. And we have Timcast right here with us in the studio.
How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? I'm sorry.
He was waiting for the intro.
I was posting on X.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I was posting the channel. I was posting the stream.
Yes. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Just hanging out.
When's the last time you were actually over in this part of
building?
Yeah.
I come here periodically for eggs.
Okay. Yeah. That's I think most people come here periodically for eggs. And to my left, how's it going?
What's up, guys? My name is Andrew. I'm the IT guy here. And that's about it.
And you're here in case anything goes wrong.
Yes.
Sure.
Which does happen from time to time. The internet, there was a day the other week where the regular stream, the Ethernet was working fine, but the Wi-Fi connected to the money guns was 10 minutes behind, so nothing was working correctly.
We have a couple more 20s. Yep. Joshua Throckmorton said, happy 800th episode, Brett and Mary. Thank you for everything you do. I'm celebrating it with a PCC classic Taco Bell box.
Well, yeah, of course.
I wish that were me right now. And we have another one from a username I'm not going to read. Howdy, people. I don't watch this anymore, but congratulations. Well, you are here now.
I saw you on X, buddy. I saw you on X. And one more from DCNC.
Yes, two more. DCNC said, Tim, will you match dollar for dollar on our episode 800 appeal for the gongo?
Sure.
Make a difference for all the Gonganese who are suffering. Weary Traveler said, happy 800th episode. Looking forward to the next 800. The Taco Bell sponsor is around the corner.
I mean, I don't know if that's even possible because Mary's 40 days off Taco Bell eventually because of Lent.
Yeah, I'm suffering right now.
You've given up Taco Bell.
Yes, I have.
Wow, that's honorable.
It's trying, but it's all for Jesus.
She seems to be doing better with this than she was doing carnivore for Lent last year.
No, yeah, carnivore
you were miserable
just made me
during
want to die, so that didn't last very long.
I'm gonna order Taco Bell.
Okay, there you go. Mary didn't get to be. She wasn't here the last time you did that after the RFK got confirmed.
Oh,
Mary was out of town.
I know. It's every time I'm gone, then there's suddenly Taco Bell everywhere. Oh, interesting how that happens.
Yeah,
okay.
I always order too much.
One more there from Guitarist Gabe.
Congrats. Here's to another 800 episodes. Cheers.
We had a depressing moment thinking about when they say that you have to do 10,000 hours of something to master a skill. I said, so we have to do 5,000 hours of 5,000 episodes of this.
And then we'll finally be experts at podcasting.
That's
Have you done 10,000 hours of podcasting at this point?
I'm pretty sure.
So, all encompassing.
If not, you're close.
I do. I think 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
More than just IRL because you're also
quick.
doing the stuff, the segments and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's because when I put it all together for the various uploads, it's 4.5.
It adds up, man.
We have another 20 from Mason Miller. Tim, how does it feel to finally be on the show you wanted to create all those years ago before the great koofening? How does it
Koofening?
Is that COVID?
Yeah.
I was on the show before.
Yeah. It's like episode
Yeah,
600.
last time we had you was episode 500.
500?
Wow.
I was just thinking
A year
about
ago.
Was that over a year ago? No, guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. We are going to talk about a bunch of various Snow White news because Mary again is going to drag me on Thursday to go watch this movie. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous, I'm sure. Look, Christian Toto gave it a good review. He said, "Look,
He did.
he's like, I can't lie. The movie was fine, but we are going to go see that on Thursday. But there is more news related to that because they have slapped ridiculous trigger warnings on the British version of the Snow White release, kind of in the same way that television shows get trigger warnings. But we're also going to talk about Gal Gadot, who has got her Hollywood Walk of Fame just the other day that was crashed by Palestinian protesters. There's a lot to get into today. I'll save the rest of it once we get down the line. But Tim wanted to talk about Assassin's Creed because we were talking about this before the show.
Yeah, I want to talk about gay video games.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, because they're
what it
forcing
is.
you to be gay in the video games.
Yeah.
I think you can pull up the clip. I think I tweeted it.
Okay, I'll look for it.
If you go to my Twitter account, I retweeted Ian Miles Chung.
Okay, I will go look for it.
So which
Can you
game is
play it?
this? We were
Assassin's
talking
Creed
about
Shadows.
Yeah, but you were talking about a different one, Tim.
Oh, Sappho and her friend.
Okay, I hadn't
Split
heard
Fiction.
of that one.
That one I had heard of.
Split Fiction. I saw that there's a picture and it looks pretty cool. It's like there's the image is split down the middle with like a pink lightning or whatever, and then one woman is wearing a sci-fi like Tron outfit. The woman underneath is in like a mystical Dungeons and Dragons type outfit. And I was like, oh, so it like flickers between two realities. That sounds fun. So I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, I ain't playing this game. It's basically like two women who are best friends and they hold hands and they're inside of a video game trying to solve puzzles.
And it's like two people play at the same time, right?
guess.
That's the point of the collaborative video games like that.
Yeah, and I was just like, no man wrote this because they hold hands. And I was like, men don't touch each other. There's only two reasons men touch each other. The first is for professional reasons, like a doctor, and the second is to cause harm to the other man. And that's even if they're friends. Like guys will like hit the other guy in the balls.
We've had this discussion recently where like in the last 10 years, comic book writers don't know how to draw men who give each other hugs, where it's like like they're hugging really, really tight and at the stomach, and they're like, no dude hugs like that. That's just because they don't actually interact with other men in a normal way. Men give each other high five, pat on the back.
Exactly.
It's the half hug,
the
yeah.
half hug. It's
The only man it is acceptable to hug is your dad or your son.
There you go.
We have 3 more 20s.
And I have the clip pulled up once we get
Joshua Throckmorton said, while Tim is sitting in, are there plans to stream PCC to Rumble? If so, will it be a dual cast of Rumble and YouTube and possibly tamper off YouTube?
taper off YouTube. Like methadone.
Thank
Mary
you.
loves the Baron Trump. This is Baron Trump. Only Mary dances to this one. Phil at least danced to the last one.
I don't care.
Okay.
High Voltage 75. I don't know.
And
did
you do this every day.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
High Voltage 75 said, welcome back to PCC, Tim. Would you please rank the following breakfast items from best to worst? Pancakes, French toast, waffles.
Ooh. I guess I'd put waffles at number 1. Then pancakes and then French toast.
Wow.
Damn, that's
But
Crazy
I'll tell you
dude.
why. It's because I have a waffle maker. Making pancakes takes a long time. Making waffles, 10 seconds.
I got Olivia like a Snoopy waffle maker for Christmas. It was the greatest gift ever. She said.
It's French toast number 1. I don't care what else you say.
Yeah, but
Shane
then you're
H.
just putting
Wilder.
it's just bread.
Yeah.
It's just bread with creamy eggs.
yeah, it's kind of gross.
We actually have 2
That's good.
more.
Do it.
Shane H. Wilder said last time Tim was on was episode 500
I was right,
back
500.
in November of 2023.
Oh my gosh.
Also, Tim, the haunted house nightmare you talked about having has inspired me to turn the premise into a feature film script.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Whoa, big
Big one there. Wow. $500 from Trudy Jones. Yeah, Trudy
Damn.
Jones always shows up at the milestone episodes and shoots the whole shot right then.
It's going to have to be first come, first serve.
Yes.
Say Miles said, congratulations on your 800th episode. Thanks for watching movies that saves me from wasting money on.
Look,
You're welcome.
I most of the stuff I review, I end up liking. I'm not liking Daredevil now, and that Daredevil's fallen off in the last 2 episodes.
Oh yeah,
But,
I haven't watched the last one.
You're gonna okay. We'll read them. You're going to absolutely despise.
Is he gay now?
No. In the newest episode, they do like a criminal justice storyline where this dude gets caught stealing fiddle faddle caramel popcorn, and the whole episode is him complaining about getting caught and arrested, and that he's been arrested like 30 times, and he keeps saying to Matt, he's like, get me off on probation. He goes, bro, you've been arrested like 30 times. And he's like, no, probation. He goes, Matt has to like charm this lady, gets it down to 10 hours, and the guy still complains. He never once takes responsibility for the fact that he's been arrested hundreds of like dozens and dozens of times. By the end of it, there's this great scene with Frank Castle that absolutely doesn't matter because the whole episode, I'm just like,
oh, he's in it.
Yeah, for like 10 minutes towards the end, but it doesn't matter. How you start an episode is everything. And the whole first 20 minutes is this guy just complaining about how he got caught doing something wrong. And then of course the cops are pieces of shit who also steal from the dude. But the point is like, it's like in the real world, you can tell this story of somebody who's like, he's made a bunch of bad decisions that have all compounded on each other along with like a system that doesn't care. And this is not that. It's just, he's not just he's not just in trouble for doing something wrong. He's annoying about it. It's awful.
Petulant.
It's awful.
So this is a $500 super chat from True D Jones. I have no idea how the crisis meter is even going to react to that.
I will have to do it manually.
Hey, Brick and Mortar, congrats on... That's our new nickname. Congrats on 800 episodes. I told myself I would come up with something funny to say, but I couldn't think of anything. Have some parties.
There!
We're having
Party's
some
fine!
parties.
Party's fine! Oh, you think that's bad, Tim? You should feel bad for the people upstairs during this.
Yeah.
It's worse for them.
You can really feel it up there.
Yes, you can. One day the roof is going to cave in from all of the vibrations up there.
No, we put a lot of work into this house.
Okay. All right. Is there more? Because I have the scene here that Tim was talking about.
Let's do the gay stuff.
Let's do the gay.
Let's talk about the gay stuff and we'll
Tim
get
say
back
here?
to super chats.
So Ian Miles Chong did post this. He says the new Assassin's Creed game is so woke that there are multiple gay romances, including one with a non-binary male Japanese man. It's like
You gotta play it.
It's
so good.
Here we go.
I will
I
not
do
buy
not
this.
think I have ever seen you quite so tongue-tied.
Not yet, at least. I hope you aren't easily chilled.
Bruh.
This can't be real.
Do you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
What the...
I think that usually only
wait.
works when the taller guy's walking behind a
Not
person.
at all.
Yeah, right.
At all.
What the... Ew! I told you he's a down low brother.
So I posted as someone with Japanese ancestry. I've always wanted to reimagine my history as a gay black samurai.
What better way to do it?
No wonder this game has been delayed how many times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you had to get that one scene just right.
I didn't know you had Japanese ancestry. I thought it was Korean.
Yeah, I'm 5% Japanese, 20% Korean.
Did you do like
I
one of
only
those-
I only learned that recently actually though because my mom got a DNA test.
I was gonna say, did you do like one of the ancestry DNA things?
But it's funny because you know what that means, right?
It's just all Japanese
No.
from the colonization.
Well, I mean, if someone has family from Korea and then you find out through a DNA test that part of them is Japanese, the implication is
The implication.
the implication. Come on. And then the funny thing was Michael Malice looked at me and he goes, 5%? That means it happened twice.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's called rape.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm never doing one of those ancestry DNA. Like whenever people, even early on in like woke culture, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm Croatian and Polish, I think, and that's all I know. My family never really talked much about it.
Some Japanese person got mad and super chatted us being like, how dare you imply that the Japanese raped your ancestors? And I was like, hey, I'd love to imagine this scenario in like the 1700s where this Korean woman was like, "Oh, love is forbidden," and the Japanese man is just like, "But I will be with you no matter what," and then they run off together.
Well, that's the movie version.
It's probably not what happened.
That's the movie version of it.
Right.
The rape version is the TV version of it that they made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one that you end up on HBO or Showtime.
And in the Assassin's Creed version, they're both men.
Yes, yeah, and then you're not born at all. Yeah, that's the bad. It would be a science fiction one where you're born of a pod.
It's a gay black samurai.
Well,
I will not buy this game.
I mean, it's gonna do horribly anyways because of all that.
Well, you saw Veilguard, right? Dragon Age,
Mm-hmm.
where the controversy was you can't misgender someone, otherwise you got to do 10 push-ups, and then nobody bought the game, and they were like, "Gee, how did that happen?" Yeah.
Oh wait, it actually came out?
Yeah, and it's a free game now.
Oh shit! No, really?
Yeah, after a few months, it was just like, okay, it's free if you're a PS Plus subscriber, and everybody was like, "Whoa, that's a AAA game."
And they have hundreds of millions of dollars are invested into making those movies and making those games.
Jeez.
The way that they're using AI to track what you're saying in live chats, like playing Call of Duty or whatever, they're banning you if you like call someone a bitch, whatever. Like it
And
detects
certain
it
people with
automatically.
foreign language have certain words that sound like slurs in English.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do you know how to say 12 months in Estonian? Why don't you look it up?
I will do that in a second. Well, let's get started on the first topic, right? Let's talk about
Super chats be damned.
Just real quick, everybody who's listening, look up how to say 12 months in Estonian.
Okay. All right. You talked about Snow White in a segment yesterday because you talked about the trigger warnings going on with it. There's like 8,000 controversies going on with this movie. Mary is dragging me to it on Thursday. I'm going to if I still did drugs, I would probably have to worry about it on Thursday, but I'll be good. But we've got that. And we've got a bunch of other stuff related to this.
So the British Board of Film Classification has slapped Snow White with several bizarre trigger warnings. One related to a girl being surrounded by ominous trees.
Do you remember that picture? Do you remember the creepy picture that first came out with like all the dwarves standing behind her?
Yeah, it was
That's
sort
way
of
more
like that.
ominous and creepy.
Sort of triggering. Then they're also told a couple gently kiss and are teased about being in love. Again, what is triggering about this? A character threatens to shove something up another's backside during a comic exchange, and skeletal remains lie on the floor of a dungeon. You're also seeing characters drink alcohol briefly at a party, and when it comes to violence, a man is shot in the chest with an arrow. There are brief sword fights, and a woman is deliberately poisoned. If this is what you need to be warned about for the Disney live-action remake, I can't imagine the trigger warnings they would place on the Grimm's fairy tale.
It's actually way more common in the UK to have like really over the top trigger warnings on stuff. They've done this for decades and decades.
No,
and
the
decades.
funniest one was for Wicked, where they gave a trigger warning for racism in Wicked.
Because of a green
green-skinned woman gets mocked for her skin color.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
DCNC says a girl in ominous trees. What? Like in the original Evil Dead movies? Okay. All right. It wasn't just that though. Look, I find the trigger warnings to be ridiculous, but that's been going on for decades. Tim, what did you guys talk about when you talked about this yesterday? Like, what did you say about this?
About Snow White?
About the trigger warning specifically.
Well, it's in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's just another controversy in people can't handle anything. But the UK government's basically captured as it is.
And they've done this for years.
So I think that it's the UK. We're ragging on the UK government and all that stuff. They're weak people. I think the bigger controversy is just that they canceled the red carpet. And they're basically resigned to the fact that this movie is going to bomb miserably.
It's going to open to about 50 million high end in America, 100 million total for perspective. Dumbo, which was the biggest flop of the remake era, opened to about that much, 45 million domestically, and lost like triple its budget. So there's a huge chance that this ends up making way less because it costs about $270 million to make before marketing. So it's going to be in the hole.
Could have been
what's the
avoided.
marketing then?
So marketing tends to be 1.5 times the budget.
Right. Wow.
So you could say that might even be higher because that tends to trend higher for big budget films. So
Little Mermaid bombed.
Yes. Well, I mean, The Little Mermaid opened to 118 million on a 4-day weekend and about 98 million for a 3-day weekend and made about 500 some million at the box office. So it didn't break even if you take the formula that a movie has to make 2.5 to 3 times its money back because of the split with theaters.
Well, but most of the controversy about The Little Mermaid was regarding the race swap. But the controversy around Snow White is completely surrounding Rachel Zegler's comments on the story and the fact that they have fundamentally changed it. So now Snow White is not looking for true love. They were very adamant about that and very clear about that. What she's doing instead is staging a political coup against the evil queen.
Well, yes.
That's the plot.
She's a socialist.
Which is the opposite of what Snow White was supposed to be.
Yep.
I think they're
there's
kind of
two
making
20s.
the evil queen into a Marie Antoinette figure.
There's 2 20s connected to the story.
We have like way more than that.
I super chatted just now, but I want to request that Brett read the super chat.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You saw what I
Yes,
posted?
I see it.
I'm not. That's just Estonian. Is that something wrong?
I don't want to get banned.
Yeah. Do the
I'm so
the
confused.
220s from Pop Culture
Did I
Junkie.
post a
and
super
Moonlight.
chat you can't read? All it is innocently what Estonian language sounds like.
Moonlight said, "What is Tim's thoughts on why we don't call Sabrina Carpenter a predator or PDF file? Will we ever take women like this seriously?"
I don't know.
Why? What did she do?
She dances very, very provocatively.
She rubbed her
and
butt on
does-
Pedro Pascal.
and she does a bunch of stuff that are simulated sex scenes in her live shows with kids. In the,
I just
in
think
the
she's
audience.
gross.
Yeah.
It's kind of a glorified drag brunch. I
And
would
one
say.
more there from Pop Culture Junkie.
From inside TMZ, Rachel Zegler landed at LAX for the premiere on Saturday, and a TMZ freelancer asked her about the controversy around the movie. Zegler kept walking and just ignored the shooter.
I mean, that was probably in her best interest to just not.
I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
That's actually how you say
I
12
love
months in
foreign
Estonian.
languages so much.
All right, so it's not just that. So what was funny about this? Beyond all of those stories, I don't think it's going to make its money back in any way, shape, or form. It's got endless controversies that just can't be toppled. It's like they're literally, the list is like this long. Babylon Bee decided to get involved. Let's do that next. This was my favorite.
So Kevin Spacey responded to a Babylon Bee headline suggesting Disney is wondering if it's too late to replace Rachel Zegler with Kevin Spacey.
And Kevin Spacey says, "Hi ho, it's off to work I go."
Show the edited version
This is the
of
best
him in
picture
the
ever.
costume.
Was the Daily Wire Snow White fake?
I don't know if it was fake. I know that
I
there's
don't
no
think
way.
it was fake. I think they just scrapped it.
I assume what I
was
assumed
no
is
update.
like when it got announced, they shot that initial promo while they were out filming Pendragon Cycle. As in Hollywood, that would be typically what is seen as like a proof of concept for like a streaming show. And then after that, they went back to filming Pendragon, I'm guessing, and then just no movement happened on it. And Snow White was then delayed again because of the writer's strike, and it kind of lost all its steam. And that's kind of the problem. If you're marketing something based on anger, the only way that would have worked is if it was coming out right now. It would have to be coming out at exactly this time. They can't release it like 6 months from now. And that's ignoring all the other stuff that reasons that it won't happen, but you can't release it 6 months from now and expect anybody to care because everybody's gonna be over this controversy and on to the next thing. Yeah, it won't matter.
The next thing that we should watch is a reimagined version of Snow White,
An AI version.
starring Nancy Pelosi and Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, Peanuts, you're my only friend.
Hold, please. We're about 4 crisis parties behind. 6 crisis parties
Not
behind.
even, like more than that.
We got it. Hold on, guys. We promise. Look, if you guys are new here, the normal show Monday through Friday, when it's not a milestone episode, is actually very organized and informative.
Yes.
We just resign ourselves that on milestone episodes, you're not going to get anything other than fun.
We're serious
it's not
people.
going to be like, I was like, can you imagine trying to cut this up into segments later? It's going to be
You know what we should
completely
do?
impossible.
For milestone episodes, we should make the money real.
And then like have a camera to make sure that nobody just puts it in their pocket when they're done.
Or you do.
No, I'm taking it all.
And all it's happening is the whole time is people are just scrounging.
Everybody
for
just
20
fights for it. Yeah. Mary's punching Andrew. Okay, let's try this again, guys. Here. So this is Sydney Sweeney and Nancy Pelosi in Snow White.
You're not my real mom. Go fuck yourself, Nancy.
I am going to hire someone to murder you in the
her act, that might actually be the best.
The AI
acting.
version is better.
The AI version of her acting is actually better than her in Anyone But You. That's 110% true.
For the record.
I would watch that movie.
No, show the whole thing.
Only friend.
It gets
What?
better.
Song.
Trump's was the most accurate. in
Yeah.
how he looked. And Elon Musk, remember, Elon Musk grew all his hair back once he hit a certain age, so his hair could be that long if he wanted it to. That was
They were all
amazing.
appropriately like void of emotion.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
And Elon Musk as the huntsman was great.
That was amazing. Okay. Again, I would rather see that movie, I think, than the one we're going to go see on Thursday. But we promise you guys, we will give an unbiased review. If the movie is good, we will give it a positive review. We gave a positive review to the Hunger Games movie that Rachel Zegler was in. Or at the very least, we praised her performance in that.
Yeah.
So if she's good in the movie, we will let you know.
We are willing
Bro,
to be impartial.
You know that song?
That was a Seal song.
It's about
right?
the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Is it?
What a random
Jeez.
choice.
Seal?
That's not
right?
what I
Was
thought.
that Seal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy by Seal in 1991.
Seal's
the fall
awesome.
of the Berlin Wall. There you go. I like Seal. He's great.
Seal was the opposite of a DEI hire. Seal was 100% talented and had a facial disfigurement early on in Hollywood. I mean, you're laughing, but it's 100%
It's just the
true.
way you said it.
It's 100% true.
What
right?
happened to his face?
I
He,
don't
like,
know
bit
if
by a
he's-
pit bull or something.
maybe something like that. And then, who did he marry? Heidi Klum, right?
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, he's awesome.
He was married to Heidi Klum.
I like
so Seal was awesome.
Kiss from a Rose.
Kiss from
man.
a Rose, Batman soundtrack. All right, let's talk about Gal Gadot.
Yeah, Rachel Zegler has been getting most of the heat in the Snow White press tour, but Gal Gadot recently was hit with a wave of protests as she was awarded her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. As you can see in this video, they're all holding up signs that are pro-Palestine,
We'll go with this here.
and they have a number of taglines.
Why is that Toph?
Yeah, I don't know why Toph is on that sign.
Okay.
Up with liberation, down
Is-
with occupation.
Is like a blind kung fu fighter, like something related to Palestine or something?
They're just making sure that she doesn't get cast.
I think
as
it's
Toph.
because of what happened to the Earth Kingdom in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they're saying like Israel is like the fire nation, Palestine is like the Earth
Yeah,
Kingdom.
but Ba Sing Se was like
You
a
know?
great, massive city of tremendous wealth, and there was no war there.
So, Gal Gadot, a lot of people were asking what it was that got her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I was actually kind of interested. Like when we were in California for the Mr. Bertram premiere, I went and walked through the, around all the stars and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was curious, guys, what actually qualifies, like how you get on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, it's not. Mary's still dancing. Do you know what that clip is from? It's Barron Trump saying, "I love my suitcase." Mary had to show me the clip. It's Barron
It's
Trump
so
when he was like
cute.
a little kid.
Oh.
Yeah. So, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce are the ones who are responsible for who gets stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, there's like a whole selection process.
Does Trump still have his star?
Yes, he does.
It just gets destroyed like every 3 months.
I don't know if it gets destroyed, but I'm sure people walk it and take pictures, like flipping it
Yeah.
off or something
They
like
built
that. So.
they built a wall around it once. They like put a little wall around it.
So the
Because walls
nomination process, anyone including fans can nominate a celebrity, but the nominee or the management of them have to accept the nomination, and then the selection process is done by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and they have a Walk of Fame selection committee that reviews the nominations. The criteria are professional achievement, longevity in entertainment, meaning 5 years or more. That's their requirement. Contributions to the community, and guarantee that the celebrity will attend the dedication ceremony if selected. So this thing, as long as you show up, they'll give it to anyone. And it costs $75,000, which you have to pay if you are the celebrity, because it costs that to have it built.
I didn't know you had to pay for one.
Yeah, they have to pay
That's
for
some
it.
bullshit. That's like how we had to pay for our play buttons.
Yeah. Well, the first we had to
those?
pay for the second one.
Yeah.
They give you the first one. You have to pay for the second one if you want to get a replica of it.
First one's always free.
So, they posted this, and this was her comment. Do you want to read what she said?
Yeah, so Disney posted the photos of the ceremony, and Gal Gadot gave a speech saying, "I had to speak up and advocate for the hostages. I could not be silent. I was shocked by the amount of hate, the amount of people thinking they know when they actually have no idea, and by how the media is not fair. So I had to speak up. I'm not a hater. I'm all about humanity. I felt like I had to advocate for the hostages. When your compass is clear, your conscience is clean. I know what I'm advocating for, and I know what I wish for the world. I'm praying for better days for all. I want everybody to have a good life and prosperity and the ability to raise their children in a safe environment."
I do think that it's fair that if we've criticized Rachel Zegler as much as we have for being as openly pro-Palestine and that being divisive, that maybe it would have been better for Gal Gadot not to make her presentation on the Hollywood Walk of Fame something political.
Yeah.
Make it about her accomplishments in the industry, meaning like Fast and the Furious and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but Israel is perfect and has not done anything wrong ever in its life.
Never in their life. But the point being,
Well, now
that
that you put it like that, that changes
if we're
everything.
going to hold them to the same standard, then people should, like a lot of people are saying, what do you mean? What controversies around Gal Gadot?
Well, because everybody's like, celebrities should shut up about politics.
Yeah.
And then when a celebrity says something political that they agree with, it's a
I
different
always
story.
liked them, they say. I always like the cut of their jib. That's what they say every time a celebrity gives them a crumb of common sense. So there was pictures that were posted for this as well. She is very photogenic. She is very charismatic, which is why people like her as much as they do.
I just feel like no one is boycotting over this.
Over her? No.
No
okay.
one is. Here's the reality. No one is boycotting over Rachel Zegler either.
No,
I
no.
am.
You're
Tim is.
boycotting?
Yeah.
Well, then
I mean,
it's you.
The reality is, though, Tim, is that most of the people in this space, like if you're hyper political, if you're on X a lot and you're like, I decided I'm not going to this movie, most of them were not going to that movie anyway. It's like a bunch of adult men like, I'm not going to see Snow White now. I'm like, bro, you
Because
were
of
never
Rachel
going to see
Zegler's
Snow White
back
anyway.
hair.
Unless they have small children. Well, and now they're going, I don't want to go see that because I don't want my kids to.
Most of them ditched Disney 2 years
That's
ago.
sad.
Most of them ditched Disney 2 years ago.
Wouldn't you have loved to like shared Aladdin with your kids?
Yeah.
That's why Aladdin did well.
And the remake did well as well. The Will Smith one.
That's what I
that
mean.
Made
The
$1
Will
billion
Smith one
as well. Yeah.
did really well. And then I think Lion King did really well.
The Lion King made over $1 billion, and even Mufasa, which is not, for all intents and purposes, considered a great movie, started off really slow, opened to like $30 million, crawled to like $700 million because Disney owns like all. They can just basically tell the theaters like you can't put anything else in IMAX except for us.
But then they decided that The Little Mermaid should be black, and then The Little Mermaid bombed.
And they did fine. I mean, what was it? Emma Watson in Beauty and the Beast did well, reasonably well in 2017. But the thing is like they're trying to do the numbers now, and they're not realizing that adjusted for inflation, those movies back in 2017 did way, way better. And you don't even have to adjust for inflation. They did better in general, even more when you consider how much less the dollar is worth.
Point being, it's not boycotts that are going to tank Snow White. It's just apathy. People don't care.
Do you think
that culturally this is pretty crazy? It feels like everything's decentralized to an extreme degree. You used to have something that people would coalesce around. An example being SpaceX just landed and they got the astronauts back. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, this would be something that everybody would gather on the TV to watch.
Yeah.
And then it would happen, everyone would cheer, and then you go to work and you'd be like, did you see, you'd talk about it. Now it's like, hey, did you hear that someone just blew up a Tesla dealership? And they're like, no.
Well, even when you think about entertainment, it's like Breaking Bad. It's because it was must-see television on a cable channel in 2008.
You know what felt good? I remember when the Khaleesi walked out of that burning building and every single post on Twitter was just fire emojis. Those are the days, man.
I mean,
then
even
for-
then, like you think back to like that was back when HBO had HBO Go, and people actually signed up for HBO Go to be able to watch Game of Thrones if they couldn't watch it live. And they're like you said, everything's decentralized now. There's a reason why whenever we talk about streaming dominance, everybody's playing catch up to Netflix, who consistently has 7 of the 10 top shows of any streaming service.
Everyone needs to stop making shows. There should be 3. And then we can all watch them together. And then Sunday at 7 o'clock, we can all tweet about how we liked it.
That's or didn't
I
like
actually agree with that.
Yeah.
I think there are way too many streaming services.
Oh, for
and-
sure.
Mary thinks that like
should all
Netflix
get
should be allowed to buy all of
consolidated.
them and put them all in
No,
one
it should be
place.
consolidated by the state, and we should have one state-sponsored streaming service.
Now that Donald Trump
Make
was elected,
everything
I
less-
agree completely.
Yeah, everything's less complicated.
If
that
a
way.
Democrat wins, no, turn it around.
Give it
Yeah.
all to Fox Nation.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want the OAN streaming service.
I got to go film stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for hanging out, watching PCC, and guys, good luck with the rest of the show. I have to go film, and I think we're buttering Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds
Buttering
exciting.
Pop-Tarts?
Yeah, we're making Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches. Work is hard.
Okay.
God.
It's a
All right.
little known delicacy, actually.
All right.
Buttered Pop-Tarts. I've been hearing about this for years.
There's a 20 there.
We actually have
But
like
let's
way
get back
more
to
than that.
let's do that. Let's do that.
So I'm just gonna go as closely as I can in order from where we left off. Let's see.
From the top.
What even is the currency ZAR?
I have no idea. Does anybody in the chat know what ZAR is?
I bet it's like Zambia or something.
What?
I really hope we have a viewer from Zambia.
We have Zambian viewers?
So a friend of mine who works at Rumble, he told me that Tim had this morning had some guy watching from the research station in Antarctica.
No way.
Yeah, and then I also found one at I forget what the name of it is in Greenland as well, like right in the middle of Greenland, like on
Okay.
the ice sheet.
It's like when we Mary, remember we had one viewer watching from a Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's more intense.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
It's probably still there.
I need to know
One
who that
person.
guy
I
is.
still want to know who it is. If you are live, if you are the viewer who watches from your Nintendo Wii, if you are still watching the show, I implore you to go on your phone and join the live chat one day. We want to hear from
Show
you.
yourself.
I have no idea how to prove it's actually you.
Let
Now
me
a bunch
know
of people are
what
going to be like,
version of YouTube you're using, because I want to know how they
Okay.
haven't blocked it.
I think I found our place where we left off.
Okay.
But a lot of these are for Tim, so sadly
Too
he's
bad.
not going to hear them.
Sorry, guys.
Brian Sanchez said, Tim, do you like your suitcase?
He does.
Corey Anderson said, hey, y'all, I'm still deployed, still helping hunt bad guys in Yemen. I couldn't miss saying congrats on episode 800. Y'all should do episode 1000 in front of a live audience. Congrats to Brett and Tim. Mary, you're a baddie. Gongo 2025. Does that mean I'm a villain or baddie in
No,
the more
baddie is a compliment.
colloquial sense? I don't know.
Baddie is a colloquial compliment.
All right, let's go. Let's gongo. DC&C said, if we don't get Richie and Sam today, I must start a riot in chat.
Oof.
Have
We're
to wait
okay
and
with
see.
that. You can start a riot if you want. I See All said, hey, everybody. Congratulations on 800 episodes. Mary, 2 days ago, you were wearing a Mutilation Barbecue shirt. Are you a fan? Yeah, big fan. Pete Donovan said, howdy, Tim. Been listening to IRL since January 2023. The conversations you, your fellow panelists and guests have been immensely invaluable and have had such a profound influence on my personal growth. God bless. We'll make sure to tell him you
We
said
will let
that.
him know. I'd like to think he's still watching on his phone.
Surinko Productions said, congrats on 800, Brett and Mary. Finally, you have your plaque this time around, just in time for you to hit more than 1/3 to 1 million. Maybe send YouTube the email for the next one now, and you might get it on time this time. Yeah, doubtful.
That'd be nice, though.
I don't think that's going to happen.
There should be a 500,000 button.
Thank you. How many parties are we at?
12. Let's go.
I mean, I think that at this point, we're just going to get one every 7 minutes.
That would be great.
Well, it's still catching up from all of the other ones.
Kellen
right?
is in the chat, by the way. Kellen will be here later on in the show, but Kellen is in the chat.
Is it still just catching up from the ones that haven't been set off yet?
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah,
it's
we're
just going to be constant.
I'm going to have to do them manually throughout the show.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you like force the button so it overlaps each time you play it?
So what happens is if multiple, like when Trudy Jones sent the 5, it only counts that as 1 on the automated system.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it's 5, but it counts as 1. It
so it
won't
won't,
automatically send it. Yeah.
It won't be ridiculous.
No.
I'm not going to read the Estonian super chat either from Tim.
He just comes here, tries to get maybe he just hates us and he wants this show taken off the air.
Walks in, drops that in the chat, and then walks out.
Also, I don't know if this is $20 in USD, but I guess I'll read it anyway.
Yeah.
Matthew Dixon said, great to see PCC give small creators like Tim a voice.
Seriously,
Heart
bro.
from South Africa.
How else will they grow?
In the chat, Kevin Brennan says, you guys do more self-congratulatory celebrating than the Rainbow People. Well, actually, celebrating every 100 episodes. It's like a birthday once around the sun. It's important to celebrate milestones.
Now we're just going to double down on it. We should have a PCC Pride Month.
We're going to do that. All of July. No, July is MAGA month.
Yeah, July is already MAGA month, so that one's taken.
May?
Can you make it June so my birth month doesn't have to be Pride Month?
Yeah,
We
sure.
can do that.
Okay, cool.
June is PCC month.
Thank God.
Alexander Panuski said, I don't think the British people are weak. The issue is that they gave up their weapons so many years ago and are now realizing very quickly why the U.S. has to, A, the political corruption is sending them over a cliff.
Sounds like it's the reason we fought a bloody war.
I think there's something actually is like wrong with them in their brains.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. That's why they still have the queen on their money, even though they have a king.
They use I'm not. I was about to reset the house counter. We're not going to do that. Continue.
They have Elizabeth on their coins.
Yeah, still.
They should get some King Charles coins.
I mean, how many trillions of pounds would they have? It's easier keeping the old bag on there.
Kellen in the chat
The
says
old
hashtag
bag.
PCC Pride.
PCC Pride Month is coming up. Get ready. Olivia Claire said, happy 800 episodes. Brett, you should read Tim's super chat. Mary, I made cake pops and Brett forgot them. As always, justice for Mocha and the Gongo.
So there's
also, I miss Peanut. We shall never forget him.
Yeah.
Never forget
Remember
until the
that's-
next thing.
So fun fact was like not that long ago, I brought in, Olivia loves to bake. And I brought in, was it cookies? And Mary goes, can Olivia make cake pops?
Dude, I saw
I
it.
asked because they're the most difficult thing with the least reward in baking. Like if you make cake pops, it's so anticlimactic and you are proud of yourself that you made it through at the end. But it's just such a tedious process.
I mean, she didn't intimate to me that it was like super, like I think she said she did a second batch and got them really good on the second batch, but she didn't make it seem like they were super difficult.
The difficult part is when you put the lollipop sticks in the cake pops. Some of them just fall apart.
Olivia will have to let us know if that's
so
what
she's going to
happens.
need to give me her hack on how to not make that happen.
I will bring them in tomorrow. Guess we can't share them with people
Oops.
tomorrow. And my tweet about it yesterday was like, look, me trying to eat healthier. Olivia, here's some cake pops. Sabotage. Sabotage. I love you, honey.
Marcos said, does Tim like his suitcase?
I think he does.
Honestly, I bet he has like really strong opinions about his suitcase.
About suitcases?
About suitcases in general. I don't know why.
Or suitcase etiquette while traveling?
Myth-informed MKE said, congrats on 800, guys. Why do you think Ben Stiller is obsessed with doing blackface in his shows and movies?
I mean, who isn't?
Is he?
It was the 90s.
Is he known for that?
It was
outside
okay.
of- I thought it was a one-time thing.
The better question is why Ben Stiller and Mark Ruffalo think it's okay to ask Trump for a favor regarding AI and copyright after calling him Hitler nonstop for the last 10
I
years.
say he should do it, but leave those two specifically out of it.
Like, you have no protections.
Yeah, no, you two,
Well, I mean,
are screwed.
Okay, so the whole point of it was they wrote a letter regarding Trump's stance on AI because the AI companies like OpenAI are trying to lobby to allow them to be able to let their systems train on copyrighted material.
Which they already have been doing.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, like all of the code that I've ever written is used to train ChatGPT, even though it's private.
And when I posted about it, I was like, look, everybody knows that you don't insult someone and then ask them for a favor. The absolute gall, the caucasity of these people.
The caucasity
of these people.
Haven't heard that one in a minute.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Big one there from Alexander.
Well, we're just going to go through the 20s.
In order. All right.
order. Seth Essington said, congratulations on the 800th episode. Mary and Brett do an amazing job hosting this show, and I'm only spending $20 because of how many people have been sending $20. I don't want to be left out of the $20 club, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, join the $20 club. Why haven't you joined?
We need a shirt that says join the $20 club. like Mug Club.
What are the perks?
Vera Dark is in the chat. Happy 800.
Vera.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you.
Again, if you are here because Tim sent you over here, this is a very chaotic episode because we celebrate every 100 episodes. You must be warned. You should make sure to tune in not just today, but back for the rest of the week.
Okay, where do we leave off? High Voltage 75 said, can't believe Tim picked waffles first. I think that was a first. What about you, Andrew? Please rank pancakes, French toast, waffles.
You know what's funny? Is that the reason why I said damn right after he said that was because that was the exact order I had it in, but I couldn't say that's my order because I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm sucking up to the boss that's sitting right in front of me. So I shut up about
Literally, who was going to think that?
I don't know. That's how I think, Mary.
Think that?
Yeah, like, if you're like, yeah,
Tinfoil
I
hat.
totally agree.
No, it's French toast number 1, waffles 2, pancakes 3.
I've come around on waffles. Mine used to be French toast, pancakes, waffles. Now I think it's French toast.
Always
waffles,
French
pancakes.
toast number 1.
Yes.
I just like the structure of the waffle the best out of the 3. Although I will admit, I really don't like American breakfast foods.
What do you prefer?
What? Do you
I
like a
don't eat
full
breakfast.
English?
No, I don't eat breakfast mainly because like the idea of having like 300 calories worth of, or 300 grams worth of sugar like right as you wake up never
The
really
crash
appeal.
is inevitable.
Like the thought of it just ruined the idea of
What
breakfast.
do you mean? That's why we have such a booming economy. Because America runs on Dunkin'.
I mean, I do like
That is true.
Like the thing is, like if I get like scrambled eggs and bacon for breakfast, I never regret it, and it gives me energy. Throughout the whole day, but I never actually take the time to do it.
Yeah, like I'll never like be mad if at a plate of bacon the first thing I wake up. I'd have to be a sociopath. But
I am pro skipping breakfast as well.
yeah, just like coffee, I feel better when I do it too.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Where's the next one? Was it the 100?
Must have
Alexander
been.
Panuski, Mary, you're the only one to ever pronounce my last name properly. Here's another donation. Wow, I'm impressed with myself.
It's Panuski.
We were just talking about how people mispronounce your last name.
Yeah.
And how it was even a unique way to mispronounce it when I was on Michael Knowles' channel. He said Daycivic. I've never heard someone say
There's
it like
no
that.
why.
No, but
Daycivic?
but most people at least say Desovic, which I understand. I mean, you don't know Eastern European names, but Daycivic though,
like
that one's a reach.
Vera Dark says, Brett, I'm glad my Boston wore off on you with the peanut butter and fluff sandwich. Yes.
It's called a fluffernutter.
I had never heard of it. So
Have you had a fluffernutter before?
yeah, I'm not really a fan of them only
No.
because I don't like sticky things.
I didn't even know. Like when I bought the fluff from the store, I was imagining it being like a regular marshmallow, and then I was like, oh, this is disgusting.
What do you
that's a
mean? You
mistake.
think that it's a jar that has a marshmallow in it?
Well,
Like
no, but
a
it's
giant
the marshmallow
marshmallow.
is only sticky on the inside. The outside of it is not.
So you thought the outside
Yep.
of the jar
Yep,
was
that's
going
exactly
to
what
be...
I thought. Yep.
But wait.
The outside of the outside, like the consistency would be closer to
Yeah.
like what a marshmallow is on the outside rather
Okay.
than on the
But
inside.
isn't
You know
that
what I'm
due
saying?
to the air?
Yeah. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'd never even heard of a peanut butter and fluff sandwich until I watched an episode of a show called Rizzoli and Isles that takes place in Boston. That you just know some writer like one day was like, "Oh, did you hear? They eat peanut butter and fluff sandwiches here. We got to include that. It'll be really Boston-ish if we do
I
that."
don't think anyone in their lives or in the history of the world has ever said, this is what I learned from Rizzoli and Isles of
Except
all
for
shows.
you.
Except for
You're
me.
the only person.
Well, I mean, like if a show takes place in a place other than New York or LA, you are smart to include things that are unique to that area to make it feel lived in, because they don't do the accents well in the show. Nobody does really a Boston accent in the show, so they have to find other ways to make it work. They do that in other stuff as well. Like, what was it? Fringe took place in. Thank you. That
Thank you.
13. Another one from Brian Bledsoe.
We have several more, actually. But did you want to finish your point?
Point was I probably didn't make the sandwich well. I need
Thank
to
you,
try
guys.
it again, but thank you, Vera. I did not start talking with an accent.
No, it needs to be equal parts fluff to nut.
Yes, if you want to put it that way.
Yes, I do
You
want to
probably
put it
just
that
made
way.
a big mistake.
I do want to put
Oh,
it that
how
way.
about that? In the show Grimm, it takes place in Portland, and there aren't nearly enough insufferable weirdos in that show to really believe that it's taking place in Portland. There is not near, even in the early 20s,
Portland.
even in the 2010s, there weren't enough people with weird colored hair for it to really believably taking place in Portland. And it was actually filmed in Portland.
I don't know why. Like,
Have you been to Portland?
No. But like, I watched that show as it came out. I don't think, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I ever remember them mentioning the area that they were in once. But it makes sense if it was Portland.
It was Portland.
Yeah.
But it's like such a nondescript. It could have been any like small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Smith said $20 club.
Thank
Join
you.
the $20 club if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? The Harsh Truth said, I wouldn't want to be in any club that would have me as a member. Hashtag $20 club. Well, you're in it now.
Fair point.
Pop Culture Junkie said, my stocks are up. You folks are having too much fun celebrating 800. I just helped a former manager get a great job. I'm ordering Taco Bell. Can this day get any better? May your crisis party meter break from overuse.
That would be amazing. And I don't know if Tim was kidding about Taco Bell, but I'm about to go inspect after the show. I'm going investigating. I wasn't sure if he was
I'm going to be
serious about
so
that.
mad. Like, actually so mad.
Oh, yeah, because you wouldn't be able to...
Yeah.
That would be...
That
Tim knew beforehand. He's like, she's on Lent. Taco Bell every day of Lent.
middle finger right in my face.
Like the day Tim goes, or Mary's like, I'm not eating Taco Bell for Lent. Tim's like, that's funny. I'm ordering Taco Bell every day for
you just
Lent.
gave me permission to order it every day.
Yeah.
Brian Bledsoe said, happy 800 PCC. The Gongo will appreciate all the crisis parties. The Gongolese will be swimming in packing peanuts like Scrooge McDuck. Also, what's the cut of a jib and why should I like it? When we getting Gongo merch?
You only like the cut of someone's jib if they say something exactly like you want them to. Like, that's the thing. Like, somebody could say 10,000 things you disagree with, but the second they say one thing you like, oh, I always knew they were all right.
All right. I think I'm going to message Jessica after this, and I'm going to tell her we need T-shirts that just say "Save the Gongo."
Yeah.
So what's this?
What I wanted was some type of shirt that had like the font of USAID and like help us save
Our
the
font
Gongo.
is better.
Yes.
Our font is.
But I mean, like something
objectively
like some
superior.
type of some type of NGO logo, Save the Gongo.
Well, our logo is just the TV logo. That's our NGO. Baron of Grey Matter said, congrats on 800. Impressed with your success, WTG.
I would like to believe that Baron of Grey Matter is actually Baron Trump and he watches the
What
show.
is WTG?
Way to go.
Oh, thank you.
All right. All right.
I think we are finally caught up on just... Okay,
Nope,
we have
one
one
more.
more 20. Shane H. Wilder said 3 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, one of those large shredded wheat biscuits. I love those. Controversial, but I love it. And black coffee, except for Fridays when I cut out bacon, then don't eat again until for another 10 hours. Based.
Yep.
Is that like a Ramadan thing?
It's a Catholic thing.
I was trying to explain to everyone like the last time we did like one of these 3-hour episodes. Like by the last hour, I was like hangry as fuck and just like everyone.
You said nothing was
Everybody
funny.
was laughing, and I'm just like, none of this is funny. Fuck y'all. Like an hour previously, I would have
Everyone
laughed.
shut the F up.
An hour previously, I would have laughed hysterically. By that period, I'm like, I hope you all just leave.
You need a fluffer nutter.
Yeah. With that
You're not
being,
you when you're hungry.
With that being said, let's make fun of Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, in a recent red carpet interview, you can see Alec Baldwin getting publicly humiliated by his wife, Ilaria. They're being asked about a second season for their TLC reality show, The Baldwins, which hasn't been received very well so far. And Ilaria just wants to take center stage and answer the question for both of them. And he just makes a couple of jokes that are more so construed as compliments, depending on how you read it, how charitably you want to interpret him. And she became livid in response. She was absolutely furious at him.
Yes, she was.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
your
guys.
guys' party.
Yes. Dance, please. Okay. We're going to keep going. Don't worry, guys. We're going to keep going. I think we're still several behind as far as crisis parties go. But here we go, guys.
Farewell, Andrew.
No, Andrew. I had to move over here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were leaving.
No,
Okay.
no. I have to move over here. Okay.
Thank you.
Continue.
So we're just going to react to this video where she tells him to not talk while she's talking, and he apologizes to her like a little bitch.
Yes, he does. Okay. Hold on, guys.
And I just like would love to be the interviewer in this situation, just witnessing this firsthand.
Here we go. Full screen.
Ilaria show.
No.
So
no,
wait, pause.
I think
I just want to preface this. They talk about the TLC show, and then Alec Baldwin jokingly refers to it as the Ilaria show. like she's the star of everything, right? And then she gets really offended by that, and that's why she flies off the handle.
Okay, so here we go.
She looks like a green screen.
No, I think we're gonna see. You know, we're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking. No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to.
Look at him doing breaking the fourth wall.
No, I mean, I think this is a really raw.
Like, I'm just gonna
show,
walk
and it's
over here
very
now.
real, and we took a lot of chances. And I think that we'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have it be out there, and then we'll see, if people like it.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you're gonna interrupt somebody and cut them off like that, you should at least make a good point and not the whole time.
Like, all she was gonna say is like, we're just gonna see where it goes.
Look at his face.
That's. I might have to make that like the wallpaper on my phone or something. That's beautiful.
And I'll just say, like, most people's response so far is they deserve each other. Like, they're both just shitty, awful, self-absorbed human beings who completely deserve to be together.
Holy shit.
Like, what's it like to be married to that for both sides of that equation?
Also, the accent is so fake. The accent is so fake.
How do you say cucumber? She forgot the English word
She
for
could be the
cucumber.
one singing the Baron Trump song.
Her name is Hillary, and she makes everyone call her
Ilaria.
Ilaria.
That was hilarious. That was,
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Why? Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
We'll have to just cut him out of his own show.
It almost gives me like the impression that there's like way worse things that are happening like when they're at home.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just boiling over ever since he killed that woman.
Okay, so you
Not
said
allegedly.
that. What did you say earlier when we were talking about this beforehand?
Well, one take is that Ilaria is the one who is, emotionally tyrannical in their relationship. But others were saying, no, she's lashing out at him when the cameras are rolling because she is actually the one getting emotionally terrorized by him when it's behind closed doors. I think that's plausible because of what we know about Alec Baldwin. We've heard the angry voicemail that he sent to his 12-year-old daughter, calling her all sorts of disgusting names. The guy has anger issues, Rust shooting aside. We wouldn't even need that to factor into our list.
Is it really plausible
evidence.
that she would be that outspoken if he was that way behind closed doors?
That's what I.
Well, that she would consider this moment her chance to get back.
Yeah, but then she's got to worry about what he's going to be like that. That's only 3 minutes of time. They got a whole night after this night ends to have to worry about what he's going to behave like. More likely to me is he gets off on the fact that she treats him like he treats other people.
Yeah.
Oh.
I lean towards Brett's opinion. That's like
My opinion, I'll do the Ian Carroll from yesterday. Allegedly. I would bet that given the way he treats other people and yells, that he probably, allegedly, in my opinion, probably really likes it when she treats him like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of how high-powered CEOs are known for hiring dominatrix.
Because they're in charge all day. They need somebody to be in charge of them because that's their sexual perversion. Yeah.
I see it. But there are so many normal people replying to this and saying, why is he still with her? I can't imagine putting up with this behavior.
Look, she will be fine. Just remember to stand behind him at all times and, be aware of your target and what's behind him. Okay, there was a 50 there from High Voltage 75.
We have several that I've already missed so far. High Voltage 75 said $20 club was so 5 minutes ago. It's all about the $50 club now. Happy 800, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being my favorite background noise from 3 to 5 p.m.
That's the whole point of the show.
You're welcome.
Let every other podcast in the space tell you about their mission and how they're doing something important. None of this is important other than the important choice to help you get through your day.
We are doing something important. What we're doing is saving the gongo.
And giving you background
What
noise.
is this gongo thing?
Do we have time to explain it? I was
we have an inside joke on the show where we're talking about things that are relatively frivolous, right? And there's always that person. We just hear voices in our head, I guess. There's always that person, that voice in your head that's like, how can you be talking about Alec Baldwin when there's a genocide going on in Gaza? Or they're saying, The new one is when there's a femicide going on in the Congo. So then if you just... Hi, Raymond.
Hey.
I'm explaining the Gongo. So then if you just kind of mix those two inside jokes together, what you get is the Gongo.
Yes.
And Brett accidentally referred to Gaza as
And the Congo.
And the Congo as
the
Gongo the other day. And now our mission in this podcast is to support and save the Gonganese.
Well, at least your voices are constructive. Mine just tell me to buy WinRAR. So
Perfect.
We have several more, though.
Keep going.
Hamey said, congrats, Marcy and Bree. Tell Timberly I said what's up. He'll know what I mean. It's a common greeting where he's from.
Timberly.
I will not
Never heard that one before. Okay. And then No Control said, PCC is foreground noise. I believe that we can graduate from background noise to foreground noise.
Yes.
With this amount of... The amount of hours that we've put in at this point.
It's foreground noise for anybody in this in this area,
Yes.
in this house that has to listen to it whenever
I
we.
can
get
hear it
super-
outside.
Like, remember, guys, every time you get us a crisis party, somebody here has to listen to it in this building. Feel free to help annoy
It's
them.
not somebody. It's everybody.
It's everybody in this building. I saw you had to go home yesterday.
Yes, and it worked out.
And you found
Yes.
found the kitty.
Yeah, it came back into the freaking window that he jumped out. That she jumped out.
Again?
Wait.
Yeah.
Went out
So the
window?
question I had was like, what? Like, do you have more than one cat?
Yes.
Okay. So why was the window still open?
The door was closed for the bedroom just in
So
case
the other
she tried to
cats
come back
couldn't
in.
get in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the other cats were locked in another separate room.
I leave the window open for Mocha every night to
She
try
won't
and
go?
get her to leave, and she won't leave. It's really annoying.
That would be justice for Mocha.
Well, I mean, it would be justice for me. Okay.
I don't think she would make it out there with the street.
No, and the thing is, our whole area is full of like cats that are allowed to roam. Like, there's Dusty and Bucket who both live at the same house, but they're neighborhood cats where they just come out and about. Dusty Bucket during the day and Dusty at night.
So Mocha isn't for the streets?
No.
Not yet.
Mocha's a house
Not
cat.
yet.
Not yet, at least.
How you thinking?
Okay.
Link Lauren responded to that clip of Ilaria and Alec. Maybe we should show that again for Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond, let me know if you would like to be treated like this by your future wife.
Let's see.
The Ilaria show.
No, I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great.
This
You're a
season-
winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking. No, when I'm talking,
Yes,
you're not talking.
that voice gets me.
I'm
every
sorry.
time.
This every time. This is the most mimetic thing I've ever seen. If meme culture didn't exist yet, it would have been born out of this still image.
This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him.
You know what he's thinking right now? He's like, "Can I confiscate the footage?" He's like, "Is this live?"
He's like, do I have a
He's just
pistol on
counting
me?
the money in his wallet.
I mean, I think
Where's the
this
prop
is
gun when I need it?
really
Yeah.
raw show, and it's very real. And
I
we
think
took a lot
he
of
knew what
chances.
he was doing in
And,
that moment.
I think
like,
that it's
he
we'll
knew
see where
when
it
he
leads
looked
us. We'll
at
see
the
what it feels
camera
like to
and
have it
broke
out
the
there,
fourth
and
wall
Yeah.
that people were gonna pick up on that, and it was gonna
we'll
go
see,
viral. He wanted her to
if
get
people
clowned
like
on.
it. That's enough.
Well, it's working.
So is that how you're gonna let your future wife talk to you?
Yes, yeah, she could definitely put her hand in front of my face.
I mean, the thing
Zip
is,
it! Not when I'm talking.
You might not
for
need
most men, I would assume if she looked like Iraria, they would say yes. Yes, I would let her treat me like
I'm
that.
at
least
least
for an hour.
Not this
like,
man.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, he loves it. He goes home and he's like, "Yell at me."
I think he does.
He does.
I was saying the same thing about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. For the record, that was my spicy take on that stuff.
In the
I
chat-
think that Johnny Depp liked Amber Heard's toxicity and stayed.
In the chat, Blaine says he's dying inside. No, what I think he's thinking is like he wants to react viscerally, positively, but he knows he can't because it'll be weird.
So Link Lauren responded to this and said, I lived around the corner from them. Alec used to sit alone at Il Cantinori drinking wine and watching videos on his phone until late many nights. I don't blame him. He didn't want to go home to Ilaria in an apartment with 7 kids and their nannies all screaming.
I mean, you're telling me dude doesn't have like his own like office there?
his own house.
His own big room where he can spend
sensory
all his
deprivation day.
Like it mutes everything around him.
I don't know. I think he likes the noise. I
do
agree with
too.
you, Brett. This is clearly it has an appeal for him of some sort.
Every time she yells at the kids, he gets really pumped. He's
And
like,
they've been together for this long. 7 kids. That's a lot.
All together? All the kids are
7 kids
Jeez.
just together. He had 1 daughter before this marriage, but all the rest of his kids.
And that's the one that he left the voicemail for.
Ireland Baldwin, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking that like the kids talk back. He's like, look, your mom can
you
talk to
pull
me
up-
like that.
Are you able to find that voicemail recording anywhere?
I can look for it.
Because I wanna pull that up to show evidence of like what Alec Baldwin really is like behind the scenes when he's not putting on a show for the cameras.
I think that's one of those things where it's like a saying like, is the Pope Catholic? Is Alec Baldwin a dick? Like, the answer's most likely yes.
I like that there's a whole thing of like Alec Baldwin voicemail to daughter reaction videos.
Well, we're about to do one right now.
Let's here we go.
I think we played that
we
one
have.
before.
Okay. Oh my! It says it's from E-Bomb.
And by the way, for context, I think that his daughter Ireland was like 12 years old when he said this to her.
Correct.
Hey, I want to tell you something, okay? And I want to leave a message for you right now, because again, it's 10:30 here in New York on a Wednesday, and once again, I made an ass of myself trying to get you a phone to call you at a specific time. When the time comes for me to make the phone call, I stop whatever I'm doing, and I go when I make that phone call. At 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that goddamn phone turned on. I want you to know something, okay? I'm tired of playing this game with you. I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a damn that you're 12 years old or 11 years old, or that you're a child, or that your mother is a thoughtless pain in the ass who doesn't care about what you do as far as I'm concerned. You have humiliated me for the last time with this phone. And when I come out there next week, I'm going to fly out there for the day just to straighten you out on this issue. I'm going to let you know just how disappointed in you I am and how angry I am with you that you've done this to me again. You've made me feel like shit, and you've made me feel like a fool over and over and over again. And this crap you pull on me with this goddamn phone situation that you would never dream of doing to your mother, and you do it to me constantly and over again. I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to come out there for the day, and I'm going to straighten your ass out when I see you. Do you understand me? I'm going to really make sure you get it. Then I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to come home. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are. You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay?
To replay this
Replay this.
So like leaving that on something that can be like saved is crazy work.
I mean, yeah.
That's I believe that's his daughter with Kim Basinger.
Yes.
Yes. That was insane. 12 years old. Maybe the phone just died. I don't know. Phones weren't, phones didn't have, actually, no, never mind. Phones had great battery life back then. That thing last forever.
No wonder she doesn't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking nightmare.
Because he's yelling the whole time. He doesn't actually talk to her. He yells
Probably
the whole time.
because he's like a whole horrible person.
Yeah, and maybe the other reason that Alec Baldwin can't really be all that upset about the thing from the other day is like he knows that people are like, oh yeah, well you remember that voicemail to your daughter, you scumbag?
Just pulls out a long book of things he's done.
You're talking about caucasity. If there's one person who has the caucasity, it's Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. That was the like I remember getting into like shouting matches with my parents when I was young, having arguments. It's pretty normal if you misbehave and stuff like that. I don't think either of my parents would have ever left that on a voicemail. That was insane.
No, yeah, and that probably just shows how detached from reality he is to think that he can get away with this behavior.
I'm picturing him being like,
over and over.
Him being like, wait, they can save those things?
Yeah.
Remember the video of him like trying to figure out how to shut off the live?
Oh yeah.
He's like, how does this thing work? He's like, he invented the millennial pause before the millennial pause was a thing.
Well, you put the millennial pause at the end of the video.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what the millennial pause, it's the thing where they go to make a post on social media and they just kind of sit there like this and then start talking. Even
but then
when
they start silent. They're like, and then when they start talking, they're like. Then they go, and it's usually at the beginning of a cameo video. Yes. They're getting paid $20 to like wish someone a happy birthday.
Actually, that's what Alec Baldwin needs to do. He needs to set up a cameo where he yells at you.
Yeah.
I might actually pay to get Mary a cameo from Alec Baldwin where he yells at Mary.
Congratulations on 800 episodes, you little pig!
800 episodes. We've been here with you since the very beginning. We've supported you. We've sent you super chats. We tune in live every day, and you just don't care. You're ungrateful.
We make asses out of ourselves every day.
I'm going to show up to the studio, and I'm going to straighten you out.
You hear me? You better be ready for Friday the 20th. Episode 900.
Alec Baldwin, if you're watching this, I will totally pay you to.
I would love that. I would love that.
Mary, you little pig. And Andrew and Raymond.
Oh, I would have him just say the worst things things you can't say on air to me.
And then just gunshots.
I mean, it's that, or I'm going to pay him to rant about Trump because he hates Trump a lot too.
Or saving the gongo.
Oh, how do you expect to save the gongo when they cut all the funding for USAID? I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Okay.
That was an incredible impression.
Thank you. I can only do it if I'm yelling. All right. Let's move on. We're going to do... I love how that... we covered that today because there's literally no point to the topic. I don't even know if we can post that. It's the most meandering thing ever, but it was still...
should.
It's still great. People will watch it and be like, what the hell was all that?
Well,
all right.
We technically still have cute and cringe of the day.
Yes. Yep. We're going to do that now.
So we should get to that.
Let's do cringe of the day first. So we're going to do this one here.
We have a couple, actually.
Okay. So we'll watch this one first. Looks like these are some people at Target. Okay, can somebody remind me why are they protesting at Target? I saw stuff about this.
You'll see.
It says, if you're listening to this show right now, it says, shame on Target for shutting down or for cutting DEI.
Shame on Target.
No one else is doing it.
Is this a silent?
I mean, has anybody ever been to a live sports event where somebody tries to start a chant and just dies?
With the cart. That is not how you're supposed to use a shopping cart.
And to be honest, right here, he's running the risk of he, she, or they are running the risk of being asked where the diapers are because Target's pretty loose with their dress.
If I saw them in person, I just start asking them what aisle do I find popcorn?
When I worked at Target, it was one of my first jobs. I ran a photo lab at a Target, and you had to wear khaki pants and red. And I don't think I've worn.
Can you please break whatever NDA you signed and tell us the craziest thing that you saw in the photo lab?
There's no NDA. I saw pictures of a dead body.
Dead body.
Cops brought pictures in for copying because they had to bring them to court.
You would think that they have some way to do that at the department.
There was I mean, you couldn't see it very well. It was limbs.
You're like, I am not paid enough for this.
And then also of drug seizures from the same thing. That was the drug seizures and non-violent stuff was actually pretty regular to see cops come in for 1 hour photo for stuff that they had to bring in for copies for court.
I was assuming you were going to say some baby boomer couples boudoir photo shoot, not dead bodies.
You did see plenty of people who did not realize that the person who developed the photos saw them showing you a bunch of shit you did not want to see.
So there was that too?
There was that too.
Was it literally?
It was...
Shouldn't that be against the rules?
I mean, it was...
Hey, you're giving the photo out willingly. It's your fault.
But against the rules for them to submit those.
I don't know.
That was the only way to get photos done back then.
You were just seeing straight up gash.
Just naked people and...
Bruh.
Yeah. Maybe that's when I became a libertarian. I'm like, just get this shit away from me. I don't care what you do. Just Small L libertarian.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's where I was like, do what you want to do, just leave me the fuck out of it.
That ain't
Like,
it.
do what you want to do, just don't make me develop the photos.
And these days you would see furries.
Yeah, it would be way worse now.
Yeah, way
It would
worse
be
stuff.
way worse.
No,
now.
I don't know. I feel like they'd just be like too lame to
Well, now there's
take
like
pictures of that stuff.
There's a website for that.
Yeah.
Rule 34.
Well, in
Multiple
most
sources,
of
yes.
And back then there was like, what was it, Shutterfly?
Shutterfly was one of them?
And Photo Bucket to get your photos developed and stuff like that.
Was it a dark room too? So like you're just looking at these photos.
No, like Robin Williams in One Hour Photo. No, it was a machine, so it was all digital, and it was like there was very little in the like I didn't have to do much chemical processing, but in general, that job was actually fairly good. Other than that stuff, for the most part, I didn't have to like go on the floor and help people, though that did happen from time to time. To this day, when I go to a Target, if they do the backup cashier call on the little walkie-talkie, I like start walking to the front. It's like a limbic. It's like a trigger in my brain.
Conditioned you.
I'm like I start walking
It's
like it's Zoolander.
People say when you work at McDonald's, you start hearing the beeping all the time. Like when you're trying to sleep, you hear the beeping.
Yeah.
What is the beeping even for? Is it supposed to tell you that the fries are ready?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
But then
it's
how are
the
the
alarm to
fries?
let you know.
The fries are always ready because it's always beeping.
But anyways,
that's why.
like Target now lets you wear different color pants. Like you can wear blue pants or you can wear black pants with your red shirt. I don't think I've worn like khaki or red since that day, and definitely not together at the same time.
Khaki is no one's choice.
No. I've worn red. I think I might have worn a red shirt or two, but definitely not with khaki.
I've
Ever.
seen you in a red shirt.
Ooh, never again. Okay.
Is that guy signed blank? The Target guy?
This guy definitely did not get a
just
dark
there
enough pen.
for the party.
No, there's definitely writing on there. It's just not dark enough. It's like he did it in a pencil.
Like 2 minutes
Shame
before they
on
actually
Target.
Shame on Target.
You know, I bet they have applications.
Yeah.
They're wearing like pajama pants.
I mean, how does DEI affect like floor level positions? Anyways, I can understand it affect like CEO or not CEO, but like executive roles.
Maybe they're starting pulling stuff at, like the Goya out of the
they're-
international aisle.
They're taking the black paraplegic Santa out of their Christmas products.
What's weird is I feel like that one doesn't actually ever, well, maybe paraplegic Santa, but black Santa doesn't get back.
Black Santa stays. Black paraplegic Santa, it's gotta go.
Well, because
Or if you're gonna do the fantasy, like the characters in high fantasy that are in wheelchairs, at least don't draw them with like muscular legs. Cause how? How? I ask you. All right, let's move on. We've got another cringe.
Yeah, this one was. I honestly just felt like people weren't gonna get this, but
Man, what the fuck y'all doing, man? Take a look at this video right here. The store owner lets this beautiful netizen inside of our store, the Chande store. So, here's what's gonna happen. She's looking around the shop and she pretended like she's doing something. But no, she is a matcha fanatic. What she goes ahead and does is she goes ahead and grabs a can of our strawberry matcha and a can of our ube matcha, and she's looking around and you like she gonna buy some shit. She like, should I buy this shit right here?
I'm not lying. I see the all dressed chips and I'm like, I need the all dressed chips. Because I've changed my eating habits recently. I'm going through withdrawals and I see the all dressed Ruffles and I'm like, take them.
No, she doesn't buy anything, y'all. So she takes a quick look at the cashier as she walking back over, and she making sure that this boo ain't up to shit. So he see that she busy, and he opens up the fridge and grabs a fucking blueberry matcha. Man, what the fuck is going on over here? And she ain't slick either. She puts it inside of a bag, and she's walking around. She like, ooh, what's this wine right here? What's going on right here? She's not buying shit, y'all. So what she go ahead and do is she's gonna pull up her pants, acting like her fucking pants are falling off her ass, cuh, and she gonna ask this car owner a question.
Pardon? Oh, right back there, that back wall.
You heard it right, folks. She's asking for the restroom. So, right before she went to the restroom, the man said, you gonna go take a shit? She said, yeah. She started laughing. Nah, she's not taking the shit, y'all. What she go ahead and do is she's gonna just stand there and act fucking stupid. And then she's just gonna walk back out, and then she'll be like,
What? Yeah. Hold on, man. You put a
matcha
in your bag.
Oh, got her.
You put
matcha
in your bag.
Oh no. What's he gonna do? She just left without paying for 3
Matcha.
beverages. She's going to her car. She's gonna look at him and go, oh, Greg, better leave. So he's gonna get behind her car. And she's gonna almost run him over. And uh-oh, she's really gonna leave. What? What's she doing? Oh, she out. 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 Man,
I'm not gonna lie,
dumbest thing I've seen today.
That bro put in so much work.
Yes. I liked it. I thought it was very, very entertaining.
Bro put in a ton of work. Holy shit.
I guess Mary liked it a lot.
That brought me joy.
Okay. I like that they blocked up the license plate too.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Q to the day. If you are new here, guys, for all viewers, we allow you to submit your pets for Q to the day because everyone loves to show off their pets. We should have had Raymond submit for today since he got his kitty back. But here we go. Olivia Claire gets to jump the line again. She's always allowed to jump the line. Nepo kitties, as I call them. More Q to the day for episode 800. Toast and Mocha seem to get all the love, but this sweet girl deserves it too. This is Chloe. Chloe is fat. We love her though.
We love a fat Chloe.
I love that one because her feet are falling off the side of
You know,
the
she looks like a very normal size, actually.
She's not.
It depends on the angle.
Wait,
Those are
is she
flattering
like-
angles.
Yes, those are very flattering angles for her. She's huge.
You mapped them out prior to
we weighed them recently. Like she's double Mocha.
Oh.
Double?
Double Mocha.
No.
Yes, she's like
How's
actually
that even
more
possible?
Than, like Mocha's like 5 pounds and Chloe's like 11.
So Mocha's just all skin then?
Mocha's very tiny. And the funny thing is, Mocha usually ends up stealing all of Chloe's food. What happens is, like, when we give them their food at the same time, Mocha eats all of it at once. Chloe eats some and then goes and walks around and comes back. So Mocha eats, Chloe eats some, goes and walks around, and Mocha finishes and goes yoink and eats the rest of Chloe's. And there are times where I have to, like, ward her off and try to help Chloe. But
Chloe needs no help.
No. I mean,
she's a big bitch.
She could stand with lose. And there are times where both of them will be just unbelievably petty to one another, where Chloe will be sitting in a box and Mocha will just walk up to her and slap at her.
Yes.
And other times when Chloe will do the same thing.
You should just call her Big Back Chloe.
Yeah.
Until she feels shamed out of this behavior.
I don't think it'll ever work. We'll do one more here. All right, this one's from Cookie Don.
Oh.
It says, sharing lunch.
See?
That is cute.
Sharing
Very
is
cute.
caring.
All right, now that we are done with that, Mary,
We have one
let's go
more
ahead.
20
Go for
from
it.
Michael Aleo. Happy 800 episodes, you ungrateful little pigs!
Nice, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. Again, we're going to have to hire Alec Baldwin to do that.
I'm trying
800 episodes!
I'm trying to be a grateful little pig.
800 episodes, you absolute dog!
Yeah. Well, enough about our podcast. We should talk about Dylan Mulvaney's new podcast. This is Dylan Mulvaney's latest venture in a comeback to the public eye. Recently signed on the same podcast network called Lemonada as Meghan Markle, who just started her own podcast called Confessions of a Female Founder. 1 week into starting her lifestyle brand, she's going to be telling the world about the epic highs and lows of being a businesswoman.
Do you want to explain to them what, how long ago she went from the original podcast to Lemonada? Because she originally was on Spotify.
Yeah, she had a Spotify deal. It fell through. She made 12 episodes of this podcast for Spotify. It was called Archetypes. And the point of it was bringing on guests to talk about all of the archetypes that women are placed in that diminish us.
Was Dylan Mulvaney ever on
as
that
people.
podcast?
No.
It would have made sense.
No. But Dylan Mulvaney should have been one of those guests. Actually, Meghan Markle didn't interview any of them. What they did is they just had her record herself asking the question, and then they record the guest answering the question, and then splice it together as if they're talking to each other. Because she wasn't able to be in a room with any of these people. That's what a skilled interviewer. Thank you.
Thank you. In the chat, Charlie Stevenson says, still cringe? Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. So Meghan Markle Spotify deal is no more. She's now on this new podcast network called Lemonada, and they just signed Dylan Mulvaney as well for a new podcast called The Dylan Hour.
Oh, boy.
And in promotion for The Dylan Hour, this is Dylan Mulvaney's new music video.
Yes.
This is, let's see if this sells it to you. Do you want to listen? I'm already like,
I turned around and
I'm
got
already
immediately
terrified.
jump scared.
I'm already terrified. So here is this.
I'm sorry,
the
I'm
theme
off
song.
camera. Okay.
The theme song.
Shower on a walk through the Dylan Hour, feeling sweet, feeling sour. I feel nothing. The Dylan Hour. My couch is open. It's better than therapy. All you soccer moms, all your theys and thems, all your bottom boys, my bisexual femmes. Come one and all, disassociate with me. It's free. Grab a drink or 2 or 3. You have no friends. All good, you got me. It's the Dylan Hour. Love ya.
What?
The joke is like, I'm a dissociative, functional alcoholic.
I feel no pain.
Come spend an hour with me.
I wish I could dissociate.
It should just be an hour of reading the DSM-5 every episode.
Well, the description that Lemonada provided is even better. Join Dylan Mulvaney on The Dylan Hour, a weekly podcast where she sips and spills with some of her favorite girls, gays, and theys, including your favorite pop stars, Broadway belters, actors, authors, and more. Dylan sits down with guests like Joe Locke, Glennon Doyle, and even her own dad. Dylan Mulvaney's father is involved in this.
Might actually be.
I am going to be watching that one.
We were talking earlier with Tim about appointment television. That might be the closest thing to appointment television you get these days.
I cannot wait to listen to Dylan Mulvaney's conversation with his father. What a full circle moment.
sure it's going to be completely reasonable.
The Dylan Hour is the destination for chit-chat, laughs, and good old-fashioned oversharing, trauma dumping. So grab a drink, mocktails welcome, and pull up a seat. The party is just getting started.
Oh, boy.
I can't wait. And the Hollywood Reporter released a press statement
face
about
the
this.
dad is going to make when they're on there? It's going to be this face right here.
The Alec Baldwin fourth wall. Yeah.
Yes, my
just completely
daughter.
buck broken. I want a family
This is why,
therapy
yes.
session on the Dylan Hour. I want to see the Dylan Hour going into all of the trauma that made Dylan who he is today.
Dylan Mulvaney cross Dr. Phil.
Used to be like a thing in the past where like you'd bring friends over and your parents would tell stories that would embarrass you and you'd be like, Mom, shut up, Dad, shut up. Now they're like, please, Dad, tell everybody this humiliating story about me growing up.
So we have a statement from the Lemonada executives who greenlit this project saying, "We've been fans of Dylan for a long time here at Lemonada and are truly honored to be releasing her delightful new podcast. Her joyful spirit is exactly what we need in the world right now and truly makes life suck less."
They're just so pessimistic about everything.
Yeah.
So they're saying like the world sucks because Trump is president.
The world needs to
and-
disassociate and drink.
Yeah, what you need right now in Trump's America 2025 is to dissociate for an hour and listen to Dylan Mulvaney trauma dump.
Yeah.
So that's a tough sell.
Remember when they were like Maury was like, we're gonna sit this one out about who was Maury talking about recently? Do you remember that, Mary? Where Maury Povich was like, I'm gonna sit this one out. We need to bring. We
was
need to,
it the paternity test for Bonnie Blue's child?
Yes. We need to
after the 1,000 men.
Bring Maury back.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Retired, right?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
There's no replacement for it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to do that anymore because that was like they treated people like circus freaks in those shows,
And they always happen to
like
be
now when you make those shows, it has to be in celebration of people who are obscure and outside of the social norms. Like you're not allowed to make it in a way that's derogatory, like it was back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they don't really need Maury or even Dr. Phil, really, at this point.
Yeah.
When everyone is willingly humiliating themselves on social media, you don't need a TV show to convince them to do it.
I don't know.
That's Dylan Mulvaney in a nutshell, really, is like came to fame by just doing the most debasing, embarrassing stunts possible in hopes of getting any attention, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't matter. To someone as narcissistic as Dylan Mulvaney, it doesn't matter what feedback you're getting as long as it's attention.
I remember the left saying that they need their own version of Joe Rogan. Thankfully, we do have this. So 2028 is in the bag. 2028 is in the bag.
I thought that was Gavin Newsom.
That too, Gavin Newsom. I'm sure Dylan Mulvaney will have Gavin Newsom on at some point, or maybe the other way around.
Did you know any of the people that he said are going to be on the show? Those names?
No.
Like they listed some of them, and I didn't recognize all but one. I think it's a lot of like theater kids, basically.
Yeah.
Like this is theater kid.
Again, I wonder how big the audience actually is for these types of shows.
It's not. That's the reason why they need to be astroturfed like this.
Yeah.
Like Dylan Mulvaney is getting platformed despite having no organic following, no organic appeal. Nobody had thought about Dylan Mulvaney for months after the Bud Light controversy. And then suddenly this comeback and this rebrand happens, and we're expected to still pay attention to anything this person does. There was never anything to it other than outrage. And even that gets boring. So who are these Dylan Mulvaney fans that we've been hearing about? Like
I just don't.
All 12 of them are going to be listening to this podcast.
I guess I don't imagine that the audience is there for that type of content long form. TikTok, I get. Like they love that type of short form content.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Long form content is a completely different animal. Like it's its own thing where when you do the short form content, the whole point is kind of like video memetics. You're supposed to convey some ridiculous concept in an interesting way in like 60 seconds to a minute and a half. But when you take those same ideas and then you're like, okay, let's talk about it for 15 to 20 minutes each, it's not really that interesting or even that deep. So it's very hard to turn that into content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna have a hard time because they're like the people that he associates with they have no attention span. That's why they love TikTok. I can't see them doing an hour.
They're just gonna get people to like tune in, put it on as background noise, and artificially inflate the numbers.
They're gonna take over PCC.
Could be.
Top background noise, man.
He should have Alec Baldwin on the Dylan Hour.
Is this something that like regular women would like regular liberal women would listen to?
Okay, there's a difference between having someone as a Dylan Mulvaney supporter and an actual fan who will show up for a product like this. So you're gonna see like on Dylan Mulvaney's Instagram, there are gonna be all of these women commenting like, "You're gorgeous, I love you, you're amazing, you look stunning, slay queen, unclockable, slay boots the house down," and then
I don't even know what that means.
I had the last two.
It's all the gay theater kid slang. And then those same women, despite waxing poetic about how beautiful and amazing and magnetic Dylan Mulvaney is, they would not show up for a cocktail hour with Dylan Mulvaney. Those people don't exist. There are actually more real fans of Meghan Markle in the world than there are for Dylan Mulvaney. Like, Meghan Markle, as irrelevant and obnoxious as she is, still has more of an organic following and interest in what she does than Dylan Mulvaney, by far.
And I guess hers could even, like, she has a way out of hers if she found the right niche, but
For
she
her,
just can't.
Her show on Netflix is getting a lot of viewership based on hate watching. That's proven. Like, it's in the top 10 or top 20 shows on Netflix right now. And all it is her pretending to cook. And it's because of hate watching. There is a dedicated Meghan Markle derangement syndrome audience.
Yes.
There is no hate-watching audience for Dylan Mulvaney because all that we feel when we watch this is, like, slight pity and disgust.
It makes it makes it as far as X.
It doesn't make us angry. We're just like, ugh. It's like,
you know who wins?
It's like a circus freak. You're like kind of walking past this, like, the freak tent, and you're like, ugh.
Dylan
and then you
Mulvaney.
move on.
Look, kids, look at the freak.
Yeah,
Dylan
exactly.
Mulvaney releases podcasts, and the biggest winners will be End Wokeness and Ian Miles Chong.
Yeah.
Pulling clips.
And Ollie London.
All
the usual suspects.
pulling
Cat Turd,
clips. And
maybe.
it's
He
well,
blocked me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Must have been your fault.
I just and again, like, I feel the same way whenever we have to cover topics that involve any type of pop singer, and you have to go to Pop Base and put on your hazmat suit to read all of the Stan comments, which are amongst the worst things on the internet. It's just so far outside my understanding of the world that I can't believe anybody could be that obsessed with one single person.
I have a question. Do either of you hate watch?
No,
Anything?
I don't.
I used to, but I haven't since
What?
high school.
Like, what did you hate watch?
The Flash, and then I just ended up liking The Flash until season.
But the first 2 seasons were actually good, though.
Yeah, but it was more so that's like you could really tell that they were trying to make it that like, I guess CW-esque like type of show where it's all incredibly campy, even though the comic.
Yeah,
books
because
are.
Arrow didn't allow it because Arrow had serious themes in the beginning before it went over the top.
Yeah, it was billed to me as Arrow, but with the Flash.
Yeah.
So I guess you could see my disappointment.
That first episode where Carlos gets killed by Eobard Thawne, episode 16, is one of the greatest moments in superhero television history, and nobody talks about it.
It's so
weird.
My friends and I still make that joke like at least 3 times a day. Stuck here, marooned here for 5 long years.
It's great.
Dude, like those 2 seasons.
Yeah, those first 2. And then I actually really, really liked the first half of season 3 with Zoom.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, with was it Savitar?
Yeah.
I liked the Savitar reveal, even if it was cheesy.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that you watch Asmongold?
I did watch Asmongold because he was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I do watch his like.
He has a lot of hate watchers.
Oh yeah, I
You're
mean,
not one of them?
Half his chats like Kami.
Really?
Yeah, no, like.
And they hate him?
I don't know why they still watch. I would just chalk it up to hate watching because it's like half people standing for Hassan Piker and half people being like, no, you're an idiot.
There's
like,
a 20 there.
From Shane H. Wilder, I love you, Raymond, but shut your damn mouth. Dylan will never overtake PCC. How dare you? I take umbrage with that statement, sir. I don't know where I'm going to take it, but I shall take it somewhere. Good day, sir.
I do hope I can one day use the phrase "I take umbrage" in real life.
I take umbrage.
I've never.
You can do it whenever you want.
Opportunity
you can
to do
use
that.
that word whenever you want.
I take
I
umbrage
don't
to
ever-
the fact that Brett doesn't take umbrage to anything in real life.
Kellen says I hate watch the Whatever podcast, but that's by design. That's crazy. Those episodes are like 5 hours.
7-hour-long episodes. I'm gonna have to ask you this once you're here in the studio, if that's actually what you do, like in your free time. You listen to that for hours on end.
I don't have it in me to hate watch. Like I was fairly emotionally scarred after watching Velma because we were reviewing Velma, and I hated every second.
I forgot about that.
Well, Mindy Kaling just had another show get canceled, The Sex Lives of College Girls, and they're trying to bid it to a different streaming service. But she is, just like Dylan Mulvaney, another one of these people who has to get astroturfed, and everything she makes is a flop, and yet somehow she still gets, awards and accolades and deals and
second seasons,
promotion all the time. I don't understand how these people fail upwards so consistently. Like, what's the hack? I want to know. Like, I'd gladly take it myself. Is it just affirmative action, or is there more to it?
For somebody like her, I think it's not just that. It's also she's built up a lot of contacts in the industry, and a lot of it's who you know every bit as much as what you know.
She came from, I believe she was a producer for Conan back in the day.
And a writer for The Office gave her a lot of credit at the time. Like, we were talking, like, we're going to be talking about Tina Fey tomorrow because she said something really stupid on this podcast, but I can criticize Tina Fey and still think that she's probably the best person for the job to take over Saturday Night Live whenever Lauren.
We were saying that
retires.
yesterday because we were showing this clip from 30 Rock, and like, she's just incredible. Like, she's genuinely like one of the funniest women, like, period.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
And one of the few that like doesn't try too hard to do it, like just naturally.
Never
funny.
seemed like it was like trying.
Does she
too
do the
hard.
sexual humor? I don't know if she does the sexual humor.
I don't.
Actually, the funny thing about her character in 30 Rock is like the joke is that she's totally like asexual, basically, and like can't land a man. And that like running gag was actually funny back then, and now it's like way overdone.
And that really is Alec Baldwin's best work too.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
They need to like do something together.
They can't.
I know they can't anymore
do it
because
now.
it's just like it's dead in the water. But like I would love to see that.
All right. You guys hate watch anything?
I totally do. I mean,
like
that's
their job. Though.
You like actually? Well, right, but like you like.
Well, we're going
hate
to
it?
see Snow White on Thursday, so maybe you could count that in. But I watch so much trashy reality TV, and
But you don't hate it. That's the thing.
I love the show.
That's not hate watching.
But I can definitely say like I have like animosity toward the people in the trashy show. You know, like those people piss me off. Their behavior.
When I think of
pisses me off.
hate, think of hate watching, I think of people who watch crap, like the people who braved Batwoman
Yeah,
to
that's
watch to make
different.
content on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's different.
Like I couldn't do that. I could not do that. It's impossible to me. Like that is actually hell to me. Like I barely make it through. I will turn off a TV show in 10 minutes if it's just too slow
Or there was
too
like
boring.
The Acolyte, like we hate
Yeah.
watched that, but it was also because of
But
our
that wasn't-
channel. If
yeah.
we didn't have a dedicated channel to talking about it,
I would have
then we
never
wouldn't be
made
there.
it past the first episode.
Yeah.
Ever.
All right. Watch Selling Sunset if you like your TV ears.
Oh yeah, what is that? Everyone talks about that one.
Yeah.
That's really popular. What is it about?
They're selling houses, young 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, fall in love, drama, but they sell nice
Sure, there's
houses.
a lot of drama.
BS.
Always drama, yeah.
Okay, we
All
should
right.
read some super
Let's do
chats.
that.
Finally, the non-$20 ones. I'll have to sift through them. This is not the account you were looking for. Said, why are y'all not on Rumble? Congratulations. I'm just gonna take the congratulations. Thank you.
Yep.
And I don't have an answer for you. Druish AF of Christendom said, happy 800, you gooning Gonganese geesebacks.
Oh God.
Geesebacks.
That's a terrifying concept.
Yeah. Anthony Mollusky said, watching live for the first time in a long time to see if Tim actually showed up to support the Gongo. Let's go.
I mean, I don't know if he showed up to support the Gongo, but he did show up.
He did show up.
There's a 20 there from King. Says, congrats on 800. Last thing I hate watched was the show Grotesquerie. The one with Travis Kelce.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never heard anything else about it other than Travis Kelce is in it. Like, he's not an actor.
I mean, I'm at this point,
so.
I'm kind of hate watching Daredevil Born Again because it's more like bored watching where every episode is just, wow, this isn't as good as the Netflix Daredevil.
Is it really that bad?
It's not that bad, but it's just it's not that it's that bad. It's that the original Netflix Daredevil was that good.
Yeah.
And this is just so Disney that I can't stand it.
That was
I'm not
good.
kidding you. If you really want to watch an awful scene, watch that first scene with the guy getting arrested for the caramel corn, and then all of the stuff that ensues. You will just throw something at your TV. Like at one point, Olivia came back into the room. He's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be done by now." I'm like, I can only take this in small doses. I keep pausing it because I want to throw up.
Alexander Panuski said, first-time listener for PCC, but I've seen all of you on IRL many times. Looking forward to some great conversations.
Well, today is
you
not
for being
necessarily
IRL.
the easiest day for that, but normally most shows it is. So thank you for
Yes.
joining us.
Welcome.
The randomness of Angela said, Mary Morgan, you are awesome. Tim too, all you guys, I love this show. It would be cool to see Brett Cooper on here. It would be one big party.
And the rest of us are just chopped liver.
Chopped liver.
Yep.
I mean, they said all you guys. So
They call me liver.
That counts.
Chopped liver.
That counts. But yeah, that would be cool. We would love to have her. Who else? JJ said 800 episodes. Will Mary start her fan site for the celebration? We were all thinking it, so might as well ask. Congrats, guys. I don't know what you're trying to imply. If you're referring to OnlyFans, that's never going to happen.
See, you
I don't know if that even
you know
needs
what
to be
you
said.
could do though. You could start a cameo where you scold people.
Yeah, but they would
Yeah.
enjoy it too much. That's weird.
Yeah.
But then they'd buy more and you'd make money.
But the thing is,
I
that
know, but
you're
then is it
screwed-
worth it?
You're screwed either way, because then if you do one where you're nice to people, they might like that a little bit too much too. So
The curse of being a public figure.
Maybe they just want one where I'm completely monotone and I don't care at all. Like
yeah,
I'm just reading
so,
it off of
like,
a piece of
you
paper.
say everybody's name wrong, and you.
Yeah, like it's sort of like it's a chore, you know,
Oh,
like an
hi.
afterthought.
Hi, Rin. Oh, Ryan. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, happy birthday or whatever.
It should just be you doing PCC by yourself, but talking to thin air like Brett's there, and that's the cameo.
And I'm like, I know, right? Like I totally thought the same thing about Snow
Then you
White.
flip your
I
phone.
did I did a thing for Cast Castle once where I did an episode where I talked to stuffed animals in the chairs.
To Mr. Fluffykins. Yeah.
And I just did an episode of PCC where
That one was great.
where I explained the butterfly effect to
I remember that.
fake animals.
No, you were talking about you had Mr. Fluffykins in my chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about the anime of the character.
Oh yeah.
From like, is it a Sanrio character? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were like interviewing Mr. Fluffykins about his time in the spotlight. I loved that episode.
I think I could actually do a whole segment where I just ramble to nothing
Nobody.
and ask for opinions and then just yeah, and then just pretend like they said something.
Like literal cricket noises.
Most of my brain is such just a of nothing most of the time anyways, that I'd be like, yeah.
But then you start like debating the air. Like, no, I have to stop you there because what you're forgetting is cite your sources.
You arrogant little pig.
You arrogant little pig.
Let's do 2 more.
This is not the account you're looking for, said Mary, Slayer of OF Walkers of the Night. How do you feel about the Hodge twins interviewing a lady who laid with 100 men? I feel nothing about that. I feel absolutely nothing about the Hodge twins interviewing. What was this? Were they interviewing Lily Phillips?
I think so.
Yeah, they're doing it because people
watch that stuff.
What I don't understand, yes, people watch that, but what I don't understand is like, what is there to talk about with her? Because everyone keeps saying like what was it like or whatever, and then they're just like, it was gross, and they're like, well, that's crazy. Like, you aren't going to find out any new information.
The thing is, though,
I'd be more interested in listening to an interview picking the brain of one of the men who participated in that disgusting science experiment.
I mean, then
goes listen to her take.
That goes back to the whole discussion we have that anytime one of these things happen, the first few days are everyone's like, oh, look at this woman who's going for the Whore Olympics. And then she wins the Whore Olympics. And then everybody complains and talks about it. And then about 2 to 2.5 days later, somebody comes up and is like, well, what about the men? And then you have to say like, well, no, the men are gross too, but the thing is the men's faces aren't attached to it. And for the content creators who are talking about this, there's a lot more mileage in talking about this person who has a verified name that's searchable in Google to talk about it, about their experience, as opposed to slut man number 4 in the hoe train. Like it's just
in that documentary about the Lily Phillips one, I was more interested in what was his name? Josh Peters. He was like interviewing the men outside anonymously. Yeah. That part was more interesting than the Lily Phillips interviews because she's just like completely brain dead.
Yeah, and the one dude paid like $1,000s to fly there from a different country just
for the privilege.
And the point is,
being number 56.
If you're in this space and you're constantly on X and you're constantly taking in information, it's not new information to you, but to the average person who works every day, maybe they have 2 or 3 YouTubers or podcasters that they listen to regularly. It doesn't seem like new information to you, and it may seem repetitive. But to them, they're like, oh, it is gross as they drive
Even
to
without the repetitive nature of it, like, what do you think she's going to reveal about what it's like to have sex with 100 men? Like,
again, it's more about it
but
being
is she going to like give you
show.
some kind of graphic description of what the room smelled like? Is that what you want to know?
No, they want to hear. They're going to listen to hear what jokes the Hodge twins make.
Yeah, exactly.
About that.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to get the guy who was number 1,000 and ask like, was it gushy? Like, what do you do? Like,
we all went.
What time is it?
Episode 800 giveth and taketh away.
All I'm saying is that people, when people, it doesn't have to come down to just people like this. It's like, how many people do you know that are in this space that when they go out, they write a book, right? And then they go on a press tour where they go do 10,000 interviews and they get asked relatively the same questions at every interview.
Over and over and over.
It's not about learning something profound. It's about reaching the most people possible. And whoever's interviewing Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips or Gushy Guy number 1000, the point is they're trying to get the views for their
Gooner.
that was his username, Gushy Gooner. Gushy Gooner X.
I hate everything.
But the point is like, they're just looking to get their piece of the pie for their viewers, and that's not a good thing or a bad thing. But everything in this space, no matter what people try to sell you about this being some mission for truth and freedom of speech, everyone's getting their piece of the pie by getting the content they can.
Yes, they did.
So, all right, let's move on.
Okay. You might have heard of the practice of quiet quitting, in which Gen Z has started either quitting a job with no notice and no explanation, or putting in the minimum level effort until they get fired. But this new practice that Gen Z is putting into place is called revenge quitting. It's the loud version, and it's exactly what it sounds like. They are quitting their jobs in order to seek revenge spite their bosses, get back at them, screw all of them over. Screw over not only their bosses, but also their coworkers in the process. Choosing the most inconvenient possible time to quit their job with no notice.
It's like, we've got a big company project due on Friday. On Thursday night, bye, bitches.
Yes. So these employees quit intentionally to push back against toxic workplaces, debatable, limited career opportunities, career stagnation, unsupportive bosses, and unreasonable expectations. So this is an explanation given by the Society of Human Resource Management.
That sounds like hell, literal hell on earth.
Yeah, that sounds like the Ninth Circle. But they came up with this definition in a very biased manner, because what they're asserting in that definition is that Gen Z is put upon. They are dealing with toxic bosses, and they are not being promoted when they deserve it, and they're not being supported properly, and they're getting placed under impossible conditions. So none of this has anything to do with Gen Z and the mindset with which they approach their job. It's not even entertained as a possibility that Gen Z might be part of the problem. Like, not even the whole problem, but just like part of the problem here. It's all placed on the older generations that are in charge of these workplaces.
It's literally like the Daredevil episode.
Expecting too much of them.
The whole episode of Daredevil, this guy's like, it's not my fault I stole shit. Bad stuff happened to me.
Workers are reportedly over unfair treatment and poor wages. They're embracing silent quitting or quiet quitting, which entails doing the least amount of work possible without getting fired.
That's just being a government employee.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're taking things to the next level by just completely calling it quits as a form of revenge. And it's a form of protest, they say,
of course.
to real or perceived mistreatment. I'm just saying, Gen Z, knowing all of their social traits, would be the most likely to perceive mistreatment that isn't there.
Yes.
So they're the most likely to overreact to mistreatment that doesn't exist, or they're overblowing
They're
it
like,
out
what
of
do you
proportion.
mean this project has a deadline?
Yeah.
I have to be at work at 8?
I mean,
Wow.
I'm more so.
I mean, no, that's one of the big things that I've noticed is how they, first of all, maybe it's not Gen Z. I can't speak specifically to a specific generation, but it skews younger, where they're like, 8 hours a day, human beings were not meant to live like this. And then somebody inevitably comes in like, when you add in the commute, it's like 9 to 10 hours a day. And then, of course, some rational person has to come in and be like, before the Industrial Revolution, before cities, you just went out and killed your food every day, and you worked every day from morning until night because you just wanted to survive. And they're like, we were meant for so much more. And this is the person who believes that if you have a communist uprising, they're going to be the dude who makes art for the local co-op. And everyone knows that that's not how the world works.
I'm just like looking at all of these headlines, and it's always the same thing. It's so predictable. Gen Z aren't ready for the workforce. 8 ways Gen Z will change the workforce. Gen Z, the workers who want it all.
We've been in it for like 5 years.
And basically, I think that it's overblown, in my opinion, how bad Gen Z really is in the workplace. But it would be ridiculous not to recognize that they have certain emotional stuntedness when it comes to interacting with people older than them. Because they weren't forced to. They were put in all of these fake social environments with people only their own age.
Like what?
School.
So you're just talking about school. Okay.
Yeah. And then never forced to interact with other generations. And they have this weird fear and intimidation when interacting with them, but also they hate the older generations at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They hate them even though they're afraid of them. And that's something I've noticed for a long time now.
I think that for the most part, they kind of use boomers the same way the term billionaire has been ruined, meaning that it's a pejorative now. It's used to broad brush an entire generation or a class of people to focus on just the negatives or how we perceive the negatives to be. It's one of the reasons I kind of, as much as I understand all the gripes about the world the boomers have left us, I tend to be one of those people where I'm like, okay, then what's the solution? Like, you're only ever focused on the problem. What's the solution to the problems that they've left us?
Roll it all back.
Yeah.
I just sent you the link to a TikTok.
Okay.
And I would like to show this one explanation for why Gen Z might be perceived as difficult to work with.
It sent me a link to a page, not a specific video.
The article?
Like it sent me a link to a TikTok, like to a guy's account.
Oh, I see. Okay. Let me
see if you can send me a direct
send
link.
you the article.
But I mean, this is one of those things, and I understand that like it's not like we'll ever find the solutions to these types of things, but it just tends to be one of those things. Like I understand we were put into a world where yes, a lot of people are never going to own a home. Yes, wages have not gone up incongruent with like inflation and all that stuff. But the question is, at a certain point, the blame game only goes so far.
Well, I mean, if we really are being fair and making all those points, yes, it actually was their fault because they thought of it in the way of, oh, well, I don't have to deal with this.
No, 110%. I'm just saying that, like, at a certain point, I just say, well, then what's the solution? Otherwise, we're just going to keep nursing the same grievance.
Yeah, just keep bitching about it. It's not
some
going to
of the
help.
people we disagree with may have a point.
Here we go.
Oh.
This one, Mary?
Are reporting that this generation is the most difficult to work with.
Look, it's really simple. It comes down to work-life balance and not tolerating bullshit. For example, why do I need to sit in an office for 8 to 9 hours a day? And let's say for this day, I only have 2 meetings, or I have no work. Let me work from home. I'm being compensated like shit, but my job is so taxing. No fulfillment, but so many problems, not prepared, issues on issues. That's why you see people job hopping. That's why you see people seeking salary increases and going where they're valued. If you have no fulfillment at work, you're not being compensated correctly, and your work-life balance is shit, people are not going to work hard. It's really not that hard.
Okay. Thoughts?
So he's talking about the concept of work-life balance, which seems to be, according to Gen Z in surveys, the most important factor in their job seeking.
Yeah.
But I don't really understand what life they're trying to enjoy outside of work.
If they're
Because
not
they
actually
don't
doing
have
anything
lives.
else. Yeah.
They don't have lives. They don't go out with people. They don't really socialize all that much. So the life that they're trying to balance with their work is sitting
media?
in their bed, rotting all day, and
Scrolling.
doing drugs.
Like,
I don't understand why work-life balance is the most important factor to the generation with the least, like, actual passion for living that has ever existed. Like, they are nihilistic and existentially suicidal people.
I will criticize the office culture a little bit here, which is that they've lied to you for decades. We're a family. Everyone at this company is a family.
Well, in some companies, there was actually a seed of truth in that.
Okay, but the point being is, like, they tell you that story. It's inherently not true most of the time. So if they were honest about what they were saying, so the real answer is that this guy's talking about my job brings me like what about fulfillment? I'm like that means nothing. The job, it's not this job. This job's like business to fulfill you.
I mean, that one's more debatable.
But pragmatically, it would be beneficial if they found a way to do so. So I know somebody whose whole job is he runs a consulting firm, and his whole job is to teach companies how to outreach to Gen Z employees to like help with better retention of Gen Z employees because they are more prone to quit. Now, do I think it's stupid that needs to be done? Yes, but pragmatically, if I'm one of these businesses and I find high turnover to be a problem for my company, it's costing us money, then it is in your best interest to try to find some type of middle ground. But a lot of the times, the concepts that they're talking about here, work-life balance, fulfillment at my job, they're just alien to people of a certain generation. So the generation before that, your grandparents or your great-grandparents may have highly identified with where they worked with. It was part of their identity to work there. They worked there for 30, 40 years, and then they retired. Well, everyone knows that is not the truth anymore. Most people switch their careers several times in their lifetime now. But for the average Gen Z person, there has to be a balance between the company doing their best to try to understand what their problems are and understanding that you're not going to get your every need met because this company has a goal. It's to create a product that helps them make money. And one of the things they do need to consider is the happiness of their employees, even if it's just not something that was considered in generations past.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. There was a legendary story of a guy from my hometown in the Midwest who won the lottery. He came into work the next day with a band and saying, "Take this job and shove it," and marched out in triumph. That sounds like revenge quitting before revenge quitting
I hope
had a
Bro
name.
got the actual check before he did that.
I think that Gen Z is asking for things and they don't know what they're asking for. So when they're saying they prioritize work-life balance, what they mean is like, I kind of hate my life outside of work, so I wish that I enjoyed my job more, when they should just fix their life outside of work.
Yeah.
And when they're asking for fulfillment out of their job, they're just saying, they're admitting the quiet part out loud, which is that they don't feel fulfilled in general from things that you would normally use to find that community and religion and family, and those are things they're not prioritizing, so they're expecting the workplace to fill in the gaps.
Do you think a lot of these people are kind of nursing a grievance that they're not working in a field that they feel like they actually want to work in? Like a lot of it's like it's the literal meme of the guy who's like, I'm going to be the one making art in the communist revolution, like I said earlier, right?
If you want to make art, like, we should just go back to the way that it used to be in the Middle Ages. You find a super rich guy to fund your art. If he really cares about it that much, you'll be the next Michelangelo. Otherwise, forget it.
Beethoven's Fifth was written because he didn't have money to pay his landlady rent.
Really?
And it's one of the best symphonies ever written.
So I just
there is merit in being a struggling artist.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
There is like, it's one of those things where it's so easy to dunk on them because their concerns are just so easy to write off as like, just toughen up and deal with it. Everybody's got to go to work. Everyone's got to do their job. But if I'm the employers, I'm looking for a fix for this. I'm speaking purely from a capitalistic sense. If I'm looking for
older people are going to die,
I'm like,
you're going to need to keep the young people at some point.
We're looking for minimal turnover because every time an employee quits, you have to waste resources training the next person in. I'm looking for ways to keep people on board and keep people happy. And maybe it's because we also have that whole schlock that was going on when the tech boom happened. Like, look at the people with the ping pong table at work and the segways, and everybody imagined that their job was going to be like adult daycare at Google.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the real case for most people. I did see a great meme the other day where it was trying to show you a difference in perspective given what work you've done for a living. I saw somebody in the chat say, try working in retail before saying any of this. Well, I've worked plenty of retail in my life, and what it was somebody took a picture of a cubicle and they said, I can't believe anybody would hate this. Because like, if you come from retail, if you come from customer service, sitting at a cubicle desk ain't all that bad.
Especially if you have this open plan workspace that every company has now, where you have no walls, no privacy ever.
Yeah.
And it's like open concepts. We can like exchange ideas, but it actually just means you're being surveilled all the time.
It's horrible.
But you get to decorate them too, your cubicles. I've had a couple of cubicles in my day, and you put up your own,
personalize it.
Yeah. Make it a little homely.
Remember the video we covered here, but the guy who makes the videos where the boring guy who gets up every day, makes his video going to work.
Hub's life.
And everybody makes, it literally is perfect for deconstruction, where some people are like, this looks like heaven. His shower is really nice. His kitchen is really nice. He owns nice things. He goes to work. He's got a structure to his day. And other people are like, can you believe that a man would be okay? That this is all he's meant for in life?
What's funny about Hub's life actually is that he's no longer working a regular job. Now he's just an influencer for a living because it was all a ploy. It was all a ploy.
Wait, does that mean he like rents out like a fake office to make the videos?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No way.
Amazing.
He's faking the entire thing. So forget normalizing the norm.
Yeah.
Now he's just an influencer, and it proves his point wrong, right? He was trying to tell people like it's okay to just work your day job and have a very normal life that's not exciting or out of an anomaly in some way. And now he was making all this content in order to ditch his day job, which he eventually did, and now he's living the high life, unlike all the people following him who were believing this messaging he was giving them. It's so stupid.
That's really funny. I did not know that.
It just proves he's a hypocrite, and it disproves the entire point he was trying to make with his content.
You think it makes him a hypocrite because he moved on and went
because he never wanted to stay at his day job. He wanted to.
Are you sure the money just wasn't so good that he's
influencer.
like, the money wasn't so good? He's like, I got to keep doing it.
He was in a very high level position, so
Was he?
He must be making even more now that he's just doing content.
That's funny too, because like if you look at that rationally, if he's got a high level office job, he's clearly not dumb. Like at the very least, he's socially smart enough to know how to succeed in a corporate environment.
He's tricking people
into doing it. Well, it's like, I mean, for any like going back to the early days.
Underlings, stay in your day job while I get to be a rich influencer and pretend to have a job.
Going back to early days of YouTube, anybody who made a day in the life video, it was never what their actual day was like. Especially in skating, people would make day in the life videos where you go skate all day from the moment you get up to the moment you the sun goes down. No, you get up at noon, you skate for like 4 hours, half of it is loitering. And that was what a normal skating day looks like. But if you make the day in the life video, it's like, oh, we got up at 9. Yeah, right. Not when you were 21, you didn't. Not unless you were working. You did not wake up at 9 in the morning. So you got up at 9, you skated all day. That wasn't real. So,
we have company.
We do.
Let's
go to Super Chats.
Congratulations on 800, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Kellen, come down here. I see you. Oh, he's right there.
Okay, we're rotating them out.
Yep.
Let's start reading some of these super chats, though.
Go around. Around them.
meantime.
Okay, let's do that.
Corey
Thank you, guys.
Anderson. Corey Anderson said, "Dictator for life.
Okay.
When will we see the fruits of your OnlyFans model research labor?
Yeah.
I'm curious on what has happened to those ladies." Oh.
Yeah, you've got you've got your whole checklist, right?
Yeah, I am still working on that. I think that my research on OnlyFans horror stories is going to be like the work of my life.
Can I was actually going to say, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go
Write
ahead.
a book.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
I mean, honestly, write a book.
Yeah.
Like your raison d'etre.
The thing is, it just keeps going. You know, it just keeps spiraling. It could never end. I could keep going with this until it's larger than,
But
War
the thing
and
is,
Peace.
well, maybe you'd have to wait for like some landmark moment in the culture.
I would hope I get to live and see the day that OnlyFans shuts down.
I was
but
gonna say,
it'll
like,
be replaced by
literally-
something worse, no doubt.
Like, you know what it would have been? Did you see recently that Canada was like, we're gonna ban Pornhub in America?
Oh no!
Like maybe if they had actually
Wait,
done that,
Canada said they were going to ban it in America?
they threatened to ban Pornhub in America because it's hosted
because
in Canada.
MindGeek is in Canada.
Well, it's not, remember, it's not MindGeek. It's Ethical Capital Partners.
Oh, right.
That's who owns Pornhub.
Wait, so
Ethical Capital Partners.
Then what is MindGeek then?
They bought MindGeek.
Oh, Ethical Partners bought
Yeah.
MindGeek, which owns Pornhub. Okay.
It's the big corn industry.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Mind Geeks like Mind Freak, Chris Angel.
Yeah.
So funny.
He's kind of based, right? Chris Angel?
Dude, I don't know.
Is he still alive?
I think Chris Angel's kind of based.
You guys should, in case there are new people, introduce yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Kellen, you first.
Oh, okay. So my name is Kellen. I'm a producer here at Timcast.
We can't see your eyes.
I am. Oh.
Because of your hat.
I'll take it off in a second.
Hi there.
I am a proud supporter of the Gongo.
Yes. I saw Jessica sent some merch ideas in the
I
Slack.
think instead of calling our fans the crisis actors, we're going to start calling them the ungrateful little pigs.
The Gongolese.
How dare you? Yes. And to my left.
What's up, everyone? I'm Carter Banks.
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Did I just get a sound effect?
That was a super chat.
How long has it been since you were on
I have
the
never
show?
been on this studio.
Yeah, you haven't been in the
show.
studio
So this is
yet.
my first time here.
Fun fact, during the election this year, everybody was out of town covering the election. Me and Carter were here in this studio building this out.
Right. I actually was there too in Nashville and flew
Both.
back just to make sure we can make this happen.
Every zip tie here, tied
So,
with care.
Everyone say thank you to Carter in the chat.
Well, Brett got all this stuff over here on his own, so
Yes.
that was pretty
So
incredible.
Have you guys picked a city for episode 900?
A city that
Or was that episode 1000? that you're
1,000.
gonna do? Oh, okay.
It's more fitting for 1,000.
That's
of
less than a
course.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, when is that? I guess we could do the math and roughly.
200.
Well, he said that
if I had to
500
guess-
was in 2023, so we'll probably get through another 200 episodes. So
I'd probably guess February or
2026.
January of next year, 26.
It's gonna be a lot.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. All right, remember.
Wait, what do you say though? What city? Portland.
Portland. Like, what's the worst city
Francisco.
we could go to? San
Gary,
Francisco.
Indiana.
Dubuque.
We'll go to maybe we'll go to your hometown. I don't know.
Ooh, how about Puerto Rico?
I'm down.
Doing PCC in
The
the
Dominican
sun.
Republic.
I'm down.
Gunshots in the
Ooh,
distance.
how about Ukraine? Yeah.
Perfect.
Odessa is a
The
nice
Ukraine.
coastal city. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
I would love that.
No,
we could travel for it. It'd be fun.
We should go to St. Petersburg.
I want
Florida.
to do a
Florida.
show. I want to do an RV show with the RV actually moving.
That's dangerous.
I know.
With you driving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have like a driver
as
cam.
long as you're driving. Yeah.
Honk. Get the fuck out of the way.
We got a super chat.
Can you imagine Alec Baldwin's road rage, by the way? That must be a sight to see. Shane H. Wilder, we're just getting through super chats right now.
Yep.
Shane H. Wilder said, a trigger warning for ominous trees. The Lorax would never. The trees are not ominous. They're just misunderstood.
What is something that you actually believe deserves a trigger warning in a movie or something like that? Do you
Like,
believe,
what are you
I'm kind of
triggered by?
I'm philosophically against the concept of trigger warnings, not on like the
I think those epilepsy warnings are fine.
Okay.
Well, that's not even. That was always a thing, you know? That
Right,
was
right. But
always
it's a trigger warning. They don't want your epilepsy to be triggered.
In general, I feel like
No.
it actually does a disservice to the artist because it puts people on guard when they go into watching something when
Right.
they're like they think something's coming, so
But
they're
like,
like
what triggers you guys? Like, what are your triggers?
Subtitles. So if there's subtitles, you
Really?
should know.
I
ahead of
have to
time.
watch everything with subtitles.
Everything with
See,
subtitles
that's,
on.
There's two kinds of people in this world, and that's one of them. The other one can't do subtitles.
For me, like, I just check Parents Guide, honestly, and I just won't watch anything that's disgusting. That's most things that come out now. So
True.
Like gore or like
honestly, like gore, not as much. It's just if something is sexually gratuitous, I just don't want to deal with it.
What's
Like,
the deal with that White Lotus show, Mary? I see everyone posting about it on Twitter, but it seems like it's really incestual.
Is
Or
it?
incestuous.
Oh, there's like an implied lesbian incest.
Well, I guess there's brothers now too.
Right? There's more?
This is what I saw yesterday. Like I guess the brothers
Ew.
finally hooked up, so everyone's happy.
They wanted that?
I don't know what the show is. I've never looked up like the plot. Never watched an episode. I thought you guys might know.
Tumblr would love that. No, it's like
I
when it,
haven't
like
watched
the problem
White
is like once a
Lotus.
show gets into 3 seasons, I'm like I'm not going back to like I considered going back and trying to watch Yellow Jackets, but it's like
Oh, it's so good,
it's
dude.
so far back.
It's
I don't know.
so good.
But Tumblr would love that whole White Lotus thing, I'm sure.
That should be a romance
But like
novel, not a
Gord,
TV
like
show.
I rewatched the Ray Stevenson Punisher recently, where they catch this guy. He's about to be arrested by the cop, and he just pulls out a shotgun and blows the dude's head off. And I'm like, damn, movies didn't fuck around back then. Like that type
There's
of.
still plenty of gore in movies.
But the thing is like I would rather watch that in like an action movie that includes gore than a horror movie that becomes gratuitous with gore.
Sure. Yeah. Chris Noski said, "Happy 800, you guys.
Hello.
Thank you."
Thank you, Chris.
Sanoski.
Yo.
Thank you.
Pete Donovan said, "Happy 800th episode, Ocular Overlord and Ghost Empress. Here's to another 800 episodes of PCC. Let's go."
By
Let's go.
episode 1600, I imagine I'll be fully gray.
I was gonna say maybe you can do a touch of gray ad read when that
great.
comes around.
That would be great. I get like individual white hairs every so often if my life is particularly stressful at that time.
Do you save them and it's like you
No.
put the date and you're like this happened like 9/11.
No.
October
You should start
7th.
Scrapbooking them.
Luckily, luckily my dad is in his late 70s and still has pretty much all his hair. So I'm hoping that
You're
means
good.
that I'll and he didn't start going gray till
Yeah, but
years
did he
later.
bleach his hair and get the?
So he used sun-in, but I don't know at what age he started that.
Sun-in?
That was a thing.
What is that?
No, what is that?
Like you just put it in your hair and it adds color back into it. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a product anymore. My dad used sun-in, but his hair was pretty much regular, like brown for forever. So I'm hoping that means that mine will stay as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't gone bald yet, you're not going to.
Which is, I got pretty lucky. Like I always used to joke, my brother got all the good traits, and I got like my brother was a little bit taller than me. Definitely had like better, like a little bit taller than me. Like better voice, everything. Like my voice is still
Better
kind of
voice.
So-
like
What?
normal.
He
like,
had Riz.
my
His brother
voice is
has Riz.
in general, and I was shorter, lopsided with 2 different color eyes. But he shaves his head, so I don't know if he lost hair or if he always is able to grow it. So I don't know.
You haven't asked.
I've heard it run like it skips a generation. Like
maybe Rachel Zegler will donate.
Her back hair
for you.
That'd be good.
It's a similar color.
Yeah.
Her back hair is becoming the subject of heated discussion right now.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
We're going to save that for tomorrow, though.
Barry, I do have to apologize because you told me, you said, hey, here's a good idea. Let's reach out to the MD Foodie Boys.
Yeah.
And then I saw them on Barstool.
Yo!
Whoa. Thank you.
They made it to Barstool, so you were right about that one.
So you should have gotten on that way earlier, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're based, like, not far away from here.
I was wrong.
Okay.
You were like, who are the MD Foodie Boys? Like, what are you talking about?
They weren't on my radar.
They just talk about food.
Dude, what kind of pizza they like?
Yeah.
See all the new party song.
We need another one. This one got old.
Brian
quick.
asked me like if I made this. I'm like, no, I didn't know they had a new one.
Can you please just like load up 5 of them and have it play randomly so it's not the same? Why not?
It's not set that way. It's
Let's set it
automated
that way.
I've tried to put multiple songs on the SD card, and it only plays the first song.
Shut
it doesn't
up,
cycle
Kellen.
Through. It doesn't have. It's not a player. It's an app that's accessing a file. It doesn't have a system in place to access multiple files. It's not playing.
Kellen, you should know this.
Oh, I'm such an idiot.
You are. You're so dumb.
Well, I guess March apparently
getting dumber by the second, dude.
I guess March there's a meme drought and TikTok's losing their minds because we have a meme drought right now. No new memes.
Drought.
Yeah, apparently there's like no new memes and they don't care about JD Vance. So I would push harder for a new Crisis song.
Yeah,
but,
you guys can ask me for a Crisis song.
What would you even do?
It.
Well, I don't know. What do you have any ideas?
Do something Western.
No.
Yeah.
Like
Colin's on a Western
Cowboy
kick right
Carter
now.
inspired.
Yeah.
No.
Country music is
no.
in.
I actually just today listened to like it was the messy rebrand of Post Malone. It was apparently from this dude who was like a reject of Jersey Shore, and it was actually like a really in-depth music analysis that was very interesting.
Which one?
I don't know. I don't even remember his name. I just remember him calling himself a reject of Jersey Shore.
Mike, the situation.
It wasn't that. No, it was. I think it was more
Mike,
of a
here's
reject.
the situation.
than
Post
I used to
Malone's new
watch
album.
Jersey Shore.
But it was. Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
So before this show's time, it would be great to go back and rewatch, like start a channel where you watch content and you rewatch that stuff. Like
no, there already exists. I watched this girl's series where she just completely like did a watch through of Jersey Shore.
That's amazing.
Mila Tequila, shout out.
Mila Tequila.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Tila Tequila, of course.
That was a moment in time in the early 2000s.
Callan Shaw, Indie Games, said, Split Fiction is great, Tim. Do a Google search. We'll let him know.
So, yeah, the review that I was watching earlier was talking about the sequel to Split Fiction or whatever from the studio and said that game was really, really good. So
Greg Duvier said, how dare you celebrate a stupid thing when there is a femicide, femicide going on in the Gongo?
It's true.
Yeah, we're wrong for that.
I don't know. You guys, I think you should show chat the logo. I think that's a great starting point.
No.
We'll save it
because PCC cares.
We'll save it.
We're not doing that. Stop. Like, okay, you're just trying to like tell us what to do all the time, and I don't like it.
Listen,
King of Skill Creep.
We will save.
Cowboy
I feel like
Vaporwave
Alec
mashup.
Baldwin right now.
You're disrespectful.
I'm gonna fly off the handle.
Continue.
Alvin McGoth said this show is never organized. It's broken and held together by tape and hope. I feel like it's usually not that
I actually disagree 110%.
We can't catch a break, huh?
We tend to we don't just have like tabs open. We have folders set up with like everything in a specific order. There's a reason why certain visuals are normally on screen at a certain time. Just the other day we had one day, I think it was on Monday, where like we didn't discuss the order of the tweets that were on screen. And I was like trying to shuffle through them as you were reading them because we didn't confirm before, like this one here, this one here, this one here. You're like reading this, I'm like, shit, where is it? There's like 5 to read.
I swear on my life, it was in the order that you dictated to me, but
it was like normally it's, if anything, I feel like we're more rigid than
we're sometimes
IRL.
doing things like days in advance, but it's because we don't talk about the news that often.
Yeah.
Not the news. Sorenko Productions said, so we bringing back Blonde Brett or...
No.
Why not?
Especially not ahead of the
No,
wedding.
not because I'm getting married in 6 months. And
Okay,
just,
after that.
Just no. I'm not doing that. So I've been in this kick where I've been reposting old skating clips every day, like one a day, just trying to like re-up my Instagram algorithms so that stuff gets visible again.
Yeah.
And every so often one will come up where it's just I'm blonde for no reason, and then I have brown hair in the next clip, and
you can do what XXX Tentacion did, where half is blonde, half is your regular color.
I mean, that was what was going on by the end. By the time I cut it, it was like half.
No, but it's
blonde,
like
half...
split between like the left and the right.
What do you call that?
Of your head.
Split fiction.
Split fiction, yeah.
Okay.
Gordon Shumway said, "Okay, hear me out. Disney makes The Usual Princess and Snow White is what is this? Kaiser Soze.
Usual Suspects.
Calling Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
You
should watch The Usual Suspects.
You think?
Yep.
Not because I wouldn't like it.
I think you might actually like it.
You think I would like it?
I think you might like it.
Okay. Michael Reed said that Tim predicted that we would be able to do this with AI, whatever movie with whatever actors, writing whatever script.
See, the thing is, it's funny for memes. I don't actually want that. For
I don't want to watch
movies.
a movie that's like that.
I posted the thing the other day about Mark Ruffalo and Ben Stiller asking Trump for a favor. But really, I don't want to see Hollywood go the way of AI because it just doesn't interest me in the same way. I want to watch movies that are great and made well, and I want to watch schlock that's big budget popcorn stuff, and I don't want to be able to put die-hard characters in with Marvel characters. I don't want to mix DC with Fast and the Furious. Even though I made the joke the other day, I said, once Superman fails, can we just have the Bat family show up in Fast and the Furious? Like, ha ha ha. But I actually just want good movies.
The idea is not that like there would be theatrical releases. Is that Carter could go home, load up his Roku, and click the AI channel, and only Carter gets to see what Carter wants. You would never be subjected to his Hulk meets the Powerpuff Girls.
I don't want to make those videos.
Then it's like,
I know you
the
don't have to,
fundamental
though.
point of like TV and shows is to like share the experience with other people, right?
Right.
Kind of.
But
so
I mean,
I agree.
It would destroy.
I could only share with me.
It would atomize people, and also they shouldn't be allowed to make that. They shouldn't be allowed to make whatever they want.
Imagine trying to explain
you want to make a movie, make a movie.
But imagine explaining streaming in its current form to someone in the 80s. Impossible.
Yeah, but it's kind of different though.
Like, and that's what we have to think. Like, what we think is like crazy and insane.
Okay, no one is saying that it's like not realistic.
I know. I'm refuting that. Like, it's going to be widely adopted.
Yeah, that like I don't think anyone is saying that's not going to happen. Maybe the time frame is debatable, but
and
the
you're
point
gonna like
is,
it, is my
we're
point.
saying we're not going to like it. And it's probably a bad thing for humanity and like our values.
It was the whole point we were talking about earlier was like everybody sat around and talked about how great Game of Thrones was. Everybody sat around and talked about how great Breaking Bad was. And then so it's like, oh man, I had this great episode of Breaking Thrones last night. I'm like, what the fuck was that? He's like, oh, I took the characters from Breaking Bad and I mixed them with the characters at Game of Thrones. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and then your friend will be like, can you send me that episode that you made so I can watch it with like and talk about it?
That's like listening to someone prattle on about a dream they had for like 30 minutes. Like
That's actually pretty true.
Yeah.
No,
I think
I'm not
it's going to be like a
interested.
video game like GTA where everyone has GTA and then you're like, oh, did you see this new mod that came out? And that'll be the AI twist on an existing IP. But it'd be like you have to download.
Yeah, but they regulate that so you can't cheat the game.
No one likes this.
And mods are very popular in the gaming industry.
Should we talk about Carrie Ann Moss?
We don't have enough time.
Okay.
Because there are like a billion super
let's
chats
go to
left
Super
to go
Chats.
through.
All right.
Spastic Fugliness said, happy 800. I'm giving you the cost for shipping that spring tee. Comped me because my PCC t-shirt that my hubby ordered in January has yet to ship.
What?
I'm sorry to hear that.
You should file. I mean, you should be able to reach out to them and.
Yeah, it should be a customer service thing with them because it's not. We haven't already ordered them. It's made to order.
Yeah.
Joe Spitali said, happy 800. Thanks for being my background noise while I clean swimming pools.
Thank you so much for listening.
That must be satisfying.
Doing the Lord's work.
Jamesy Boy said, Brett, Mary, and Tim, and the other guy. I think he was referring to Andrew. Happy 800. Here's to 800 more. Can I get Tim to say the following phrase, Civil War, and Mary to say, bad up, I'm not reading that? Well, you got me saying that phrase, but Tim is no longer here.
Tim would have said it for you.
Tim is
no doubt.
He's no longer with us.
Yes.
Mason Miller said, Tim hates you for getting to do the show he wants to do while he's stuck being based on politics. I mean, I think he's low-key jealous.
Tim does love to talk video games and stuff like that.
They do it. They do it on the after show.
It happens sometimes.
I mean, people tend to get annoyed whenever I'm on IRL because the conversation ends up going towards movies and TV. Which is why I like doing it. I was gonna do things, so I did a thing in one episode where I made a reference to Warehouse 13 within the first 10 minutes of the show, and I meant to, from then on out, every appearance, try to sneak a TV reference in within the first 10 minutes of the show. But then the next episode was like, I think Phil was there, not Tim, and I completely forgot to keep the thing going. But maybe I'll start doing that again. Like, when no matter what the topic is, they're like, oh, Doge has this thing going on. I'm like, well, that reminds me about this episode of this
person of interest.
Yeah, that would be great.
You should see if you can like set a personal record for how many, like, without it being disruptive.
Yeah.
How many natural movies you like references you can make.
I mean, people do get annoyed with it in the, like, we'll be talking about the most obscure thing. I'm like, that reminds me of this scene in a show, and Mary's like, yeah, I don't know
People
about that.
get annoyed at people are like, oh no, Ian's on before the show even starts when Ian's not on. So like people get annoyed about everything, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, Ian just lives in haters' minds rent free.
Ian, Elad.
I mean, you know why that is, right? Like, Ian doesn't have to pay rent because he's got all that money from Casper Coffee.
Exactly.
He doesn't, like, he should be paying rent.
Speaking of which, Weary Traveler said, I'm partial to 3 cups of black coffee for breakfast and nothing else. I want to ask you guys to rank French toast, pancakes, waffles in order from best to worst.
French toast first.
Yep.
Pancakes last.
Okay.
Waffles in the middle.
Right in the middle. You're
There's
correct.
3, right?
You are correct.
Okay. Waffles, French toast, pancakes.
Okay, waffles first. I mean, I think it's like French toast just should be first. Like, it
Yeah.
just,
Yes.
That
waffles
part we
have
can't
these
debate.
natural crevasses that hold your syrup and butter.
Oh, you like crevasses?
There's actually a name for that.
What,
and I
like-
forgot how I came across this. Like the
name
in
for-
between of a like the dip and the waffle.
I'm gonna look it up.
You should. It was like something bizarre that
Wait,
had.
what the holes in waffles
Yeah,
are?
yeah. I don't know why I
Are they
remember
just,
this.
like,
It's some audio related
divots?
thing. Yeah.
They're just called pockets or squares.
Yeah.
No.
There's no specific name
Never mind.
according to Gemini.
Well, I don't even know who Gemini is, but
Google's AI.
It's crazy how much Gemini has just cannibalized website traffic.
Deep South EDC said, happy 800 episodes. Love y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg Duvier said, I am also impressed you say my last name correctly. Yeah, well, I'm just an expert at this now. Kenneth Hart said, you've probably seen the Fallout series. It was actually not bad. How awesome would a 4-season series based on Command and Conquer be? Kane Lives.
It's kind of like they talk about there's certain games, like a lot of people would really love like a Metal Gear Solid show.
Solid Snake.
And a lot of people, I don't think that they
It's
have
always
faith.
better in your head.
Like that kind of idea, that silly idea that it would be great, is just a thing of the past now. Like now people are more like, please don't do it because it's
Yeah.
more likely to get screwed up.
Well, and it's like at first I think
The Halo series being a perfect example.
But the early problems that plagued these adaptations was it wasn't practical. You couldn't capture that magic in the video game. Now the effects are good enough, but the writing has gone off the deep end. So it's like Halo was awesome, like the fight scenes, but then you're like, why is he taking off his helmet? This writing makes no sense.
It's the worst of two worlds because it's like somehow a 22 episode regular network television series makes more sense to me than the crap they put out in 10 episodes, which just drag and drag and drag. Television, in my opinion, they don't have the writers to be able to tell you 10 episodes well anymore. They used to be able to do that, but now you need to tell 22 episodes, 18 of which aren't connected to anything, and they're all their own individual episodic thing, and maybe you have a couple of two-parters throughout the season that connect, but we're long past the days where they were able to tell you 13 to 16 episodes where half the episode was its own thing, and then half of it contributed to an overarching story.
The last good show that did it was The Walking Dead. I think they're the most modern show that I can think of that had long seasons, and they had like a midway season break.
Well, they
where
were
you
like
knew.
they were like 18 episodes, right? Because that was AMC or whatever, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't have been 22.
And they cut
It would've
down
been-
towards
it
the
would have been
end.
18 to 16 to 18 at most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But like the latter half or like more than half of that show sucked. So
I disagree. I mean, you may not liked it, but it made enough money. It was popular enough that it stayed on the air for as
because
long as it
people were
did.
just hanging on. That's like because
I'd argue it's one of the best zombie adaptations that exists, and people enjoyed it.
It is, yeah.
So,
but it just like took a massive downturn. I want to ask both of you a question that came up earlier, and it's if you hate watch things. Like, are you a hate watcher?
Yes.
What do you hate watch?
PCC.
No. Well, actually, Callan, you go first.
Whoa, oh, so you do hate watch us. I see.
Not you
I see how
guys,
it is.
no.
I wouldn't
Okay.
say, generally speaking. I know I typed in chat the Whatever podcast earlier.
Oh, you don't.
Well, I mean, I can't stand anything that a majority of the panel has to offer 90% of the time. But there are those moments that keep you hooked when they just get dunked on.
That doesn't really appeal to me at all.
So I guess, I mean, if you call that hate watching, sure. But
so you watch like the whole
it's more
episode,
of a debate.
like 5
No.
hours?
No, it's on late because they're California and they stream at night. When I'm here late as heck, like editing, it's one of the only things that's like on YouTube. So I just have it in the background.
The new business model will just be like broadcast late as hell, so there's no other competition.
Yeah, we should do that.
I mean, I would
PCC at midnight.
I would have loved this show to be like to be like 11 to 1. Because that's my natural time of night anyways. That would have
I'm
been
with you, man. I would come on all the time.
That would have been perfect for me.
But all of those shows are like drama channels.
What, PCC After Dark?
Yeah.
You should have people like how we have the Discord callers, have people call in, you can give them dating advice, Brett.
I'm sure people would take it.
And then you're like,
yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Your situation with your boyfriend kind of reminds me of this episode of X-Files.
That only
Anyway, so remember that episode where Mulder had his body replaced by another Yeah.
Carter, what do you hate watch? You weren't willing to say earlier.
Fine. It's a lot of true crime stuff. So like Gray Hughes Investigates. I used to like his channel, but like he's kind of become somebody who I don't agree with anymore. So I hate watch him to see how he's spinning the facts.
SNL.
Okay.
I hate watch SNL because the only time I watch it, I'm watching it for like a decent host, like Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
And every time he's not in the show, I'm like, please just get to the next, get to the next sketch.
I mean, maybe someday we'll introduce like a less structured, like PCC late night show where it's like Brett can't sleep, so he'll stream from when IRL Uncensored goes off the air. And
you're familiar with doing like the virtual appearances with other shows, so maybe it's more dynamic.
It'd just be funny to like just talk about drama.
Yeah,
that's what all of the the late night shows.
We always joke like if we just did a show for 2 hours talking about Harry Sisson's Snapchat logs, like
10 million views.
We'd simply
the Ashley Sinclair thing would have been our Super Bowl.
I know.
Harry
but
Sisson
we can't.
DMs, boom or doom?
What do you mean?
Callan's too keyed into all these.
Are they boom or
terms.
doom?
Yeah.
You're asking me if they're boom or doom?
Yeah, because it seems like people are very split.
Are you asking if I think he has Riz?
I think Harry Sisson has gained more respect with these leaked DMs than he ever had in the moderate to right wing circles.
I say it's a doom. It's a doom. From what I've seen, like I'm just saying, like that wouldn't have rizzed me up. Like that wouldn't have worked on me.
Not the
like,
wine tasting.
No, the lines I have seen so far, it's been a no from me.
I love how he was juggling. Harry Sisson of all people was juggling like 11 girls at the same time.
It's not hard to believe. It's not hard to believe.
It's a little hard to believe.
Harry's roster.
No, he's spiritually gay, but he's not actually like homosexual.
Now we know that though. I guess I didn't see.
He said one of the reasons he voted for Kamala was so that he can make sure that he still has access to porn.
Did
So
you see?
that's who we're talking about
Did you see
right now.
Blair White's tweet? Like Harry Sisson is the only person I've ever seen exposed as straight.
Oh my god, that's pretty.
Outed as straight.
Yeah. Kenneth Hart said, thanks for the shout out for the trucker yesterday. Start day at 2 a.m. IRL from yesterday. Then I switch on live. This is legit. Radio is unreliable.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the support.
Especially if you got Starlink, dude.
Those are some of the YouTube channels that I watch, are the people who do do long haul trucking and make videos about their work life.
I watched a few of those when those Canadian protests were going on with the truckers.
Oh,
I discovered a few of those streamers.
Yeah. This was not that. This is just like,
like
here's me playing video games in the back of my truck and making dinner.
So it's like,
yeah, it's neat to see their setup and how they like.
So it's like that's like your version of the camping
but getting
videos.
paid
Yes.
actually.
Okay, this is why I say that all men want to be hobos. Like,
I do.
They all love stuff like that. They like dream about being nomadic.
Yeah.
and,
Well, it's like
having
building a
no
treehouse
home.
on wheels.
Do you watch the Outdoor Boys?
No.
Oh, they're so good.
The guy who does the stealth camping videos.
No, that guy's cool.
That guy's.
He's gonna get in trouble one of these times.
There's the one where he stealth camps in the middle of like a roundabout.
I saw that one.
What?
And he's
always
always paranoid as fuck the whole time. It's like all that would happen to cop would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
Just
why
get
is
the
he
fuck-"
scared?
Like I love it though. I mean, it's like he's just not spiritually a criminal. I mean, he's just like a cop would come and be like, "Bro, get out of here."
Well, dude,
but he did do one where he's like he camped at like a small airport.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like that'll get you in trouble,
I just
bro.
saw that one.
Like.
But how do you even get through TSA? You're not allowed.
I mean,
through
he's
without a
outside.
ticket.
He's
I think
outside like the runway.
outside the fence
Like
line.
by the fence. Like if you go to the local airport over here, you can just walk right up to the fence.
Sure. Yeah,
So.
that's might get you in trouble. Stephen McKeown said MVO. Do any of us know what that means? I assume not.
I don't know what that's from.
Arsenal Man said she should be careful. Doesn't she know what he does to women he has a minor disagreement with? Congrats on 800 on the road to 1,000. Yeah, Ilaria is gonna need to act better next time.
Yep.
Surigo
Wait,
Productions.
is he talking about Harry Sisson?
No, he's talking about
these are older.
Alec
Oh.
Baldwin and Ilaria Baldwin
Oh, yeah.
on the red carpet.
That's crazy.
Sorinko Productions said the look Alec gave. Okay, I'm not
Can't
gonna say
read that one.
I'm not gonna say that, but you should pull up with the look that he gave.
It's I can't. I don't have. I deleted that
damn.
that thing, but I do still have this image. So
there's
best we
that.
can do.
No Control said PCC is foreground noise. Thank you. Kenneth Hart said, Tim, you played Inquisition. They did gay right. Dorian was legit because it explained his reasons for being there. Krem explained Quinari Society. I don't know what any of that means. Also,
Passed
Tim
on
is
to
not here.
Tim.
Joshua Throckmorton said, just bought my PCC shirt. Also, any plans to stream on Rumble?
Well, maybe we have to. I would like to. Well, I don't know about the Rumble stuff yet, but I do think that we made the black on black shirt for the hood or for the sweaters. Maybe we should do that for
a shirt.
for the shirts as well.
Yeah, that's
I wonder
a
if
good
you could
idea.
do like a white version of that, where it's like white and very light gray, something like that. Because not everybody likes to wear black in the summer. I do, but
I do.
Yeah.
Can't you offer them and just if the logo's like the graphics the same, can't you just offer different base shirts?
I don't know. We'll have to. I would like to do a black on black shirt.
I agree.
Because it's just I don't wear shirts with logos. I don't. I can't.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And
Also,
they never
Callan,
fit
I'm
right
not the
anyways.
enemy of Corn Pop. Corn Pop's a G. I'm just reading the chat now.
Red Snow said, happy 800, guys. Praise be to PCC and Space King.
Thank you.
Thank you. Omega Red Fan said, after the gas station clerk started running after the getaway car, I lost it. LMAO.
Bro.
See, some people liked it.
Bro.
Brian Bledsoe said, I see Alec Baldwin was John Cena's inspiration for his promo on Monday.
Yeah, that was John Cena blamed the fans when he turned heel. I do love that there was this interview that John Cena did with Chris Van Vliet like a year ago where he talked about how there was a point in time about 10 years prior where they were going to turn him heel. If you're not wrestling fans, that means they were going to turn him from a good guy into a bad guy. John Cena had been a good guy his whole career, and the fans just desperately were sick of him being shoved in their face as this guy who always wins. And there was a time when they were going to turn him heel. He goes, he had new music made, he had new gear made, everything was going to change. And he gave that in an interview, so everybody wanted that to happen. So now when he turned heel, he purposely didn't change anything so he wouldn't give them what they wanted, because they wanted him to look different, have new music, have new outfits and everything. Now he's like, nah, F you guys, I'm keeping everything the same. That's genius. Also, I don't know if that's because they were just like they decided at the last minute to do it and just didn't have everything ready, and it was just a genius fix to it, but the logic is consistent.
A serious man said, congratulations. Just one.
Just one single congratulation.
Thank you. I think.
That should be Post Malone should make a song called Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just the solo version, the single congratulations
yeah, I like
version.
that.
Just mono.
Shane H. Wilder said, everyone want a secret. There is a PCC Rumble landing page, but nothing is set up yet. Jessica told me about it like a month ago.
Yeah, I made
This
that.
is news to me.
Yeah.
It's also a
You're
theme
responsible
song,
for this.
and I'm going to drop the link right here.
We'll have to.
Well, technically all of our shows here at Timcast have a Rumble page. It's just we don't necessarily have a Rumble presence yet. I think the plan is to get you guys to have a Rumble presence. TBD though.
Cool. This is not the account you were looking for. Said thank you for all of your takes. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gushy. Gushy Gooner 1000 said, "Keep my name out of your mouth."
In my heart of hearts, I believe that was his name the whole time.
Yeah.
And we just happened to call him out by accident. That
Yeah.
he didn't just make that up on the spot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for bringing up your name. I will never do it again.
So wait, Gushy Gooner 1000. That was you in the
I don't know.
Bonnie
Is
Blue
it
video?
Is it pronounced gushy or gushy? Like it depends on, you know, like I think
Depends
that-
on the context.
I think that you said gushy, earlier, but then I said gushy.
Somehow in my brain, gushy and gushy are not the same thing.
Well, then what's the difference?
Gushing, I think of like gushing, like you're bragging about someone. You're like, I was gushing about this person. I don't gush about someone.
Well, I think that's a word.
I'm thinking of the candy Gushers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
You know?
So gush would be
Yeah.
describing
So
the word gusher.
Lily Phillips' vagina, gushy,
Okay.
not gushy.
Not
This
gusher
is
like.
too
at
much.
This is
all.
a conversation for PCC After Dark.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not. We can't be talking
This is
about
the
this
daytime
at 4
hour.
p.m. Corn Pops sent us a sticker. Thank you.
Thank you
for that.
You the man, Corn Pop. I'll
You are
protect
Kellen's
you
your
from
sworn
Carter.
enemy.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Aw crap, Kellen is here. Well, it's been a good show. See y'all tomorrow."
Dude, your chat.
Just kidding. Much
hates
love,
me.
Kellen.
Kellen, can you post the link I posted so it comes from a tool person in the chat?
Oh, someone with
link?
the little wrench.
Yeah.
What link?
Oh, I
The link
posted
to
the
the
link. So
Rumble?
no.
Or-
It's the theme music at the end.
Can
I
you
made
post
an
it
hour-long
again?
loop.
I can't find it in chat.
Yeah, here.
We got a 20.
From who is that from?
Shark
Bait Fits. I missed pretty much the whole episode, but I will leave a super chat to look forward to when I listen to this tomorrow.
Oh, it does work.
I need Ian to weigh in on how good the Crisis Party song is. Keep it gushy, my friends. That looks like gooshy.
Gooshy.
So I don't even know what that means. I don't know
Gushy
if I want to know.
Gongo.
You would say gushy the same way you'd say suitcase.
Yeah.
Gushy.
Mm-hmm.
The Gongolese are Gushy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't
Shane H.
see it.
Wilder.
Send it in Slack.
Is that what you did?
Sort this out amongst yourselves.
That's what I'm trying to do, Mary.
I've had it.
I am going to turn this podcast around.
I'm going to straighten you out.
Turb Baldwin.
Okay.
Are we going to get to 20 crisis parties? That is the real
No.
question.
I
We're at
would love
18.
that. We're 1.5 parties away from 20.
Let's
so
get there.
I want to. Shane H. Wilder said, "Oh, hi, Carter."
Sup, dude?
Potatoes
Sup?
for Seamus said, "Mary is so mid. Brett is Sigma. Mocha is queen."
Mocha is not queen.
We object.
So you're a cat person, right, Brett?
I'm not a cat or a dog person.
You have
You
to
don't
pick.
like either, or you like both?
I don't dislike either. I like our cats. I love our cats even, but I wouldn't call myself a cat person. We didn't have pets.
So then you're a
growing
dog person.
No, you
it
don't
doesn't
have
work
to be
like
one or
that.
the
You
other.
have to.
No.
You really don't. You don't.
You have
I'm a
to.
bunny rabbit person. Though.
That's insane.
It's almost like I made it up on the spot.
That's nuts, dude.
I hate watch bunny rabbits. That's what I do.
Tim is a chicken person. He's not a dog or a cat person.
Well, farm animals are acceptable. I don't consider a rabbit a farm animal.
No. Tony Nagy said, "Thank you, Carter. Keep it real. Keep it 100."
Trying to.
Are
AI
you?
is gaining on me, though.
Yeah. Dingus Khan said, "Who's the guy next to Kellen? Did Ian cut his hair?"
He's talking about Brett or Mary, because I'm not
Talking
next to
about-
Kellen.
You are on screen.
You on screen, you're next to Kellen. So
That's so weird. People
But I
have
don't
been calling
think that
me
you
Ian
look
for
like
a long
Ian.
time, but I'm not.
people think that you look alike.
They used to think we were like I was his little brother or something like that.
Really?
When I first got
In
here.
what world?
I don't know. I used to have a man bun.
Oh, maybe it's that.
Maybe it's just because they both play music too.
Maybe season
Like you
one
guys were on
of
stage
Timcast.
together in Austin.
It's true.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't
Potatoes for Seamus said, "Kellen is out of the attic. Tell us who is they, though."
I think you know. I think you know who they are.
It's so funny how many TV shows have used that line in old episodes before it became a thing.
It's them.
Like, who is they though?
Mr. PKWT said trigger warnings should be for seizures and if someone speaks French. Congrats on 800.
That's a good, yeah. I'll concede French is also acceptable.
Exploding Prinny said Mary is the leading authority on sexy babies. I don't know if I like that.
I don't even know what that means.
It was Bay-B.
Yeah, because I posted this clip from 30 Rock where this character is telling Tina Fey that she's a very sexy baby.
Oh.
But that reminds me of that Tom Hanks SNL skit where they're making fun of toddlers and tiaras, and he's like calling this little girl sexy in the skit. Everybody always reposts that as if it weren't scripted, and he's actually saying that for real.
This is why he got a passport to live in Greece or whatever.
Yeah.
Or that's why he became a citizen.
This is
of
why I'll
Greece.
never see the Epstein files.
And that's why
I'm not
everyone
even
is-
saying Tom Hanks isn't on them.
My favorite thing, though, is that Chet Hanks really has had a Chetissance. He's acting again. He's showing up on talk shows. You know, he's not just doing his fitness business anymore.
We're still going to have him on at one point?
We wanted to have him on. I don't know, that was never going to happen, but that would have been awesome.
He gave me a phone call.
Yeah.
At the very least.
But he was doing this thing the other day. He was like posted a picture of himself getting stem cell treatments. He's like meeting tons of smart people here at the stem cell center. I was like, let's go.
What is he doing
I
to
don't know,
himself?
bro. I don't know. If you don't know what we're talking about, Chet Hanks is deep lore here on PCC.
If you're an OG Crisis actor, you would already
would
that.
know.
Shane H. Wilder said 3 pages of notes for my script and 5 pages in. Let's go. Also, people seem to like Mary and Mr. Fluffykins on the grassy knoll. It blew up.
It was a good photo. It was good. Did you see it?
No, I haven't.
Yep. I'll see if I can find it.
Pull it up for me. Thank
Why
you.
would you do that, Mary?
You went to Texas?
In fact, it's right here.
I deny everything.
Oh.
I don't like this.
I mean, it's the perfect picture of you. You look like you're.
I look menacing.
You look like you're spotting
Well,
someone.
look, see, he's holding the gun. I'm
You
just
know,
watching.
Technically, you're the spotter.
Yeah.
What would it actually be like if this was a TV show, right? You'd be having a mental break, and Mr. Fluffykins wouldn't actually exist, and it's you handling the gun the entire time, but you've created this
right.
fictional,
Yeah.
this imaginary character.
It's like Mr. Robot, where
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Fluffykins is my Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
But it's been me all along. Shane H. Wilder said, I don't even like AI and memes for the most part. Giving an algo a prompt and then going, look what I made, takes all the heart out of it.
Yeah, but the skill now, you're right, but what people would argue is learning how to actually use the prompts and being the best at knowing. Like, remember the early days of
That
Google?
is such an eye roll.
Art is supposed to. Okay,
the people
so
who mastered keywords first were like, bragging
watching
about
movies is supposed to take the chance, taking the risk of like wasting your time to take in the art of another person, not put your own art to the test. However, you want to consider AI art.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go and make the movie myself. If I wanted to do that, I would go and make the movie myself.
Sounds like a damn chore.
Like
I
yeah.
don't want to even do that anyway.
Just no.
Well,
There's only a very specific audience that wants to
What
do
about-
that, and it's
Remember,
like Tim and 12 other people.
And whoever bought Choose Your Own Adventure
Yeah,
books.
What about
exactly.
shows that ended too early and got canceled when they shouldn't have been?
Good.
It wasn't. It wasn't my art. It was
Like,
somebody
it
else's.
should
cares?
end then. It's like you
cares?
don't have a soul.
Dude, I can't pick up on the stuff that like
Okay.
makes a
Okay, know
show
what you're
actually
doing?
good.
You're just doing the thing where you start doing the contrarian take on literally everything, and then
No.
it turns into a debate, and then afterwards you don't care about the subject anymore.
I mean, I don't really care about AI.
yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm just saying, like, if people want to use it, that's
Okay, there was a show that I really liked that only got 2 seasons. It was called Life with Damian Lewis and
Season
Sarah
3 coming
Shahi.
soon.
And what was great about it is it had a really, really unique sense of writing for both the main character and how the other detective responded to him. I don't want to have to go and do a bunch of research so that when I type in the prompts, I can recapture that magic. I want to know what the guy who wrote that dialogue would want for season 3, not how I would imagine it being.
Well, here's what you can do. You can ask AI to research the internet on his writings and then import that into the.
This is stupid. This is stupid.
It's happening.
Also-
Cal's not wrong.
Tim
It's
was
really
saying
sad.
like that AI, because of AI, like celebrities are going to be completely replaced, And even that, in and of itself, is absurd to me.
I don't think
because-
that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a weird hybrid of, like I said, like they'll sell their likeness
Like-
to OpenAI, and then you can pay $10 for the Channing Tatum package.
Even that, like, what? What's so funny?
Just the idea of a Channing Tatum package.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at something in the
Is that on the cheap side? There's like, is the Rami Malek one on sale?
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like $7.99.
He's going on tour with
Speaking of, he's got a new movie coming
I'm
out where he's just
excited.
kicking ass.
No,
the whole time.
I saw the trailer for that. I'm going to see it, but I've kind of just accepted that Rami Malek's just not that great.
Oh, I
Sorry.
like him.
I liked him a lot.
Sure,
Weird.
sure.
Robot.
Mr. Yeah, but the thing is every character he has to play has to be like mildly autistic.
That's cool.
Well, it's kind of
I'm
like
down.
it's kind of like Dahmer. Who can play that? What can that guy do now? Evan Peters.
Sorry, Rami Malek just
He's
isn't
always
that
done horror stuff. He was
Yeah, but he is too good of a Dahmer. I can't see him as anything else.
You
The Ross
watch him in
Lynch
American
guy?
Horror Story.
No,
because
Evan Peters.
Oh, okay, because Ross Lynch played him in the movie.
No, different thing.
Different thing.
Real.
The Netflix thing.
He was a school
Yeah.
shooter in one of the American Horror Story seasons, and it's a very similar character, like role that he plays. Right.
Joseph, I did not watch Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, so I don't care.
Who the
I just-
heck
The
cared about
Pacific
that?
wasn't bad, chat.
Okay, let's finish these up. Glitches said, happy PCC day. Woke up at 5 a.m. to catch this episode due to the time difference.
Wow.
Need more PCC cameos with both of you on IRL. That show is way too serious.
Where do you live? Hawaii?
We do enhance IRL when we're on.
It is crazy to think that.
Thank you
like,
for waking up early.
No, it's got to be
we're
like
on
Australia
and
or something.
We're on and like they're talking
I would
about
say,
these
like, the
serious
UK.
topics like bombings in Yemen, and me and Mary are like, well, let me
And we're
tell
like,
you about
the
Blake
Congo.
Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
The Gongo. That sounds like what's happening in the Gongo. Olvin McGoth. You wouldn't get it. Olvin McGoth said PCC After Dark only on Rumble.
That's
an idea.
That is an idea. That is an idea.
Could
We'll
you
leave it at
change?
that.
Could you dim these lights to make it a little bit more mysterious?
That was actually something we were able to do in the old studio because we could just turn the overhead lights on and just use the studio lights. In here,
Maybe just turning a few of
it
them
would
off.
depend on like if it's just one or two people, you just turn a very specific couple of lights off.
Yeah.
But there are days where we come in here and I swear the lighting's different. Even
Yeah.
though there's no outside light sources
Some
in here.
days just
I look-
feel darker.
I look at the picture of Mary, I'm like, I swear that's darker than normal.
I can give you guys lights if you want. Like I can light you better.
I mean,
Well,
I would more like to
I want
have.
to see what you come up with, but like,
What you got?
I have the stuff they use in the IRL studio.
I mean-
I figured out how to put it up. Yeah.
Sweet.
because
Those are much
like
better than
that,
these.
like that
Oh,
would be.
I will not do that. I despise.
Oh, you
the
don't
lighting
like
in
that?
IRL.
No, that would be
Which
nice.
one?
You
Like,
do like one bar.
if
No,
it
he's not
weren't
talking
so,
about the spots.
No.
if it weren't so like hospital.
Well,
Yeah.
in theory, if those are LEDs, you should be able to change the warmth.
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet. You need
Yeah.
a switch or something like that.
Pop Culture Junkie said, in my 14 months of watching PCC, this has to be the best episode. I've had so much fun watching you folks having so much fun. Congrats again on 800. Now back to my tacos.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I do imagine that Tim comes on for 30 minutes. Like this is the most unstructured.
He probably thought like it probably feels like you're jumping into TikTok.
Yes.
Like for people that don't use TikTok, this is probably what being inside TikTok
We're
feels
NPC
like.
streamers.
Yeah.
Olvin McGoth, I
Super
am
chat's
not
so
going to
good.
read that because I don't want to be clipped saying that. Shane H. Wilder said, when y'all watched the 800 short, no, I had to cut out a lot of jokes for time, and I had to bleep some things because I could not, in good conscience, have Mary take the Lord's name in vain. Do we have the short?
We do.
We can...
Well, it's not short. It's like
react to
4
that.
minutes long. So we'll.
I mean, there's not a better time than now.
Hold on. Let me,
What is this?
Shane H.
Shane?
Wilder has made a PCC at 800
Let's watch it.
short. Today is a very exciting day because we just revamped our live thumbnail design, and we asked you in the poll today what you think of it.
And whatever you
Some
think,
of you
we
are
don't
saying
care.
you hate it. We don't care. We're not changing it back.
I don't remember asking you a
Let's go.
thing.
It also makes for an awkward moment every day where I have to pretend to know how to human.
You think you're human? I am human.
I watch him do it every day. I watch him pose for the thumbnail every day.
Excellent reference.
Dogs are eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat
Today is a historic episode of
Somber.
PCC. I mean, I don't know. I feel happy about new beginnings, but this is our last episode in the OG studio.
Last night, it kind of hit me that this was the last show in the studio.
Is it emotional? Are we emotional right now?
I was really just emotional about my commute getting longer. If I'm being honest.
that's the sucky part.
Pull your pants up, Patrick. We're going home.
When did you guys move here?
Over the election. Spent a week, moving everything over here. We put everything in a U-Haul on day one, brought all of the equipment over, and I forgot exactly one thing. And that was the money for the money guns.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I did a last, trip to the studio. What used to be our studio, our now defunct studio, because I wanted to pick up all of my stuffed animals, which are not in my background anymore.
Yeah. I
actually felt like us moving to the new studio is a good point to graduate from that.
Yeah, away from the stuffed animals.
I know that it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
But it makes a little more sense to me that would be in my background when I started out at 21 than now at 24.
You've evolved.
Maybe I've evolved, and I need to mature my aesthetic a little bit.
Now what do you put, like an image of your 401k behind you?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, and I picked up all the stuffed animals and stuffed them into my car, and then there was a basket of money. And I asked you if you needed me to bring the money, and it's not here because you didn't answer me.
As far as the move goes for us, it's going to be more weird.
This is from the truth about our channel.
The new camera angles and everything.
We're looking up at you now.
The truth is the video is clickbait.
The truth is that we clickbaited everybody. So this is going to be interesting to get used to, but I am so excited to be back.
I like my food games.
My name is Brett, and I am here with my co-host once again to celebrate our 100,000 subscriber silver play button, which just came now.
Literally 222,000 subscribers later, we finally have the silver play buttons. YouTube finally gave us the recognition and validation. That
I have my own PTSD from having to go back and forth with YouTube support.
Yeah.
To get that taken care
And
of.
it's tinier too. How dare they?
It really is.
Getting real tired of you ducking me, man. Yeah? Oh my God. Yeah. Getting really tired. Where's my money?
Wow, your face
Where's my money?
Watch me just drop and destroy it.
It breaks in half.
There
we
go. The big reveal. There it is. People were so mad, actually.
Why?
Hey, phrasing!
They thought that we had one and that they were going to decide who got it, and then it was two all along. People are so pissed.
We put up a poll. They said who should get to keep the play button, Brett or Mary?
Yeah.
And it was a back and forth the whole show.
So they give you two?
You have to buy the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next.
We need swelling music to be playing while you're reading this.
And we're here to support you along the way. You know what? I would have felt
supported.
I would have felt more supported if you send this to us when we actually hit 100,000 subscribers.
It's literally almost a year exactly.
What are you guys at?
It was like February
right
of
now.
last year that we hit
yeah. But thanks, absentee father YouTube.
Crazy.
To all the so-called mainstream media, including weird websites that nobody has heard of, who use my name as
I see the Scream Queens on the side.
And to all the relentless, unwashed hordes on Twitter, who have taken every opportunity to mock and attack me mercilessly from the safety of their stained futons.
It's true.
I offer the following heartfelt sentiment. You can all suck it!
I hope Serge's episode made the cut.
Critics are raving.
They always are.
It's relevant and topical and makes you ask questions about AI.
So true.
Certainly interesting and is
so
a big topic of conversation.
We're asking
I love everything
questions
about it. It's hot, it's sexy, it's in right now.
I'm only learning how this works, being in the process of it, and it's giving me a much bigger view than I knew 23 years ago when I first got on air.
I always call it massive. Sometimes they say huge. Not a bad one. Huge.
Man, it goes hard.
Yeah, it's true.
I hate it.
Hey! What the heck, Shane?
What the hell, Shane?
What's wrong with you?
Okay. Do we have super chats to finish? We're almost at 19, guys.
We have a few more, yes. Greg Duvier said, Mary reading Hallow app add on IRL tonight. Not tonight, but I'm sure the next time I'm on. Thank you. Was this 19 or 18?
No, we're behind.
Okay. TN Fame said, thoughts on WikiFeet? I don't like it. Those are my thoughts. Yeah. I hope that those are the thoughts of everyone else here.
Sadly, probably more of a problem for women than men.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's not the main one though.
What?
Feet Finder.
Is that the one?
Ew. I didn't know there
What's
was a
better,
different one.
Brett? Feet
I've
Finder
never
or
looked at
WikiFeet?
either of them.
Are you on there? I bet you're on there.
I bet you I'm on there.
Yeah.
I've definitely had to yeah.
But you usually wear socks even if you're
I
not
always
wearing
have
shoes.
socks, yes. Yeah.
Socks and Crocs.
Yes. Yeah.
You are that guy.
Only
good
for
duo.
skating. You take the Crocs with skating so that you don't have to keep if you're going from spot to spot, you don't have to keep taking your skates off and put on regular shoes.
Is it 4-wheel drive?
I use 2-wheel drive while skating. 4-wheel drive anywhere else.
Oh, okay.
High Voltage 75 said, Kellen, are you excited for Aaron Rodgers to potentially go to the Steelers?
Don't think it's happening. I think he's too expensive. We just need to rebuild. We need to bite the bullet.
You get cheaper AI ones.
What is happening?
That's true.
What is happening?
We're
Okay.
good.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think it's happening, and I think we're probably going to draft a quarterback. It's looking like Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. I don't know. We've got Mason Rudolph. He's got a cannon. Let him run with it for a year.
Okay. All right. You going to be part of this? Are they going to do a sports show?
We're trying to figure it out.
That'd
We've
be
got
cool.
no space left.
Yeah. There's literally nowhere to. Have to build something on the roof.
No.
No.
No room.
No room.
There's nothing. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Figure it out. All right. All right, guys, before we go, I want to thank each and every one of you again for not just joining us today, but for being here with us through so many episodes of the show. It is a big deal to be able to do 800 of anything, and that's only really plausible because you guys show up day in and day out live to watch this show. So thank you guys so much for that. Mary, where can they find you?
Thank you again for tuning in today and celebrating with us and tuning in every day. We do really appreciate your support. We would not be doing the show if you weren't here. You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And either of you like to shout out your own social medias?
You first.
Well, damn, you guys, this is crazy.
Do you want to be found?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, sure. You can find me at Carter Banks everywhere, particularly on YouTube. I've been reading books. I used to do this thing called the Carter Banks Hour. I started doing it again, narrating and stuff.
It's way better than the Dylan
the AI
Mulvaney
war.
Hour.
Oh, they have that? That's
the Dylan
They
Hour.
have that?
Yeah.
But yeah, follow Timcast Music at Trash House Records. I posted that link, or Kellen did, with the theme song. If you want to support our musical endeavors, you can buy that. But yeah.
Perfect. All right.
You guys can follow me at KellenPDL. I guess everywhere. I'm mostly active on X. Follow Timcast IRL, Timcast Tim Pool, all on YouTube and Rumble. For the news shows that we do here, we have clips and live shows every single day.
Perfect.
We
There's
have one more. Shane H. Wilder said, glad y'all enjoyed that. No idea what I'm doing for 900. I did have to remix the Eat the Cat song to keep from a copyright. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you for doing that. And don't worry, we don't know what we're doing for episode 900 either. So we're going to have to figure that out.
I'm sorry, but we have to hang out till we get to the 19th crisis. It's just like right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you gotta go. All right, guys.
Let's do work outside.
I have an appointment
Yes.
right after.
Guys, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here 5 days a week, guys, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, which is noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch this show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That is another way to help the show, so thank you guys so much for that. And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Mary, there's a couple more there.
Pete Donovan said, happy 800th, let's go. We are at 19 now. High Voltage 75 said, have a good night, you rude little pigs.
Yep. I'm setting it off prematurely.
And we have a 20 from Courier 626. Hostage party, happy 800.
Guys, we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see y'all then. Bye everyone.